So, last time in our Enemy Within campaign, y'all made it to the town of Weisbrook, where you discovered that there was a man in black, a mysterious individual who seemed pretty well equipped and suited to violence, waiting for you on the docks. That caught your attention, and after a little bit of soul searching, realized that this was the same individual who seems to have been involved with those bizarre guys back in Altdorf who kept making the weird ear scratching motion at you guys. And you also heavily suspect, due to the fact that he has a big old fat crossbow on his back and seems to know how to use it extremely well, that he also killed those two individuals, which is weird. But in any event, after seeing him, you arrived in Weisbrook proper. Got us set up at the Black Gold Inn, where you heard a couple little rumors and stuff, and you also saw him go into that building. You ordered some food, pursued him. Your food got cold while you were gone, but eventually you tracked him to the Trumpet Inn, where you met him, saw he was talking to some people, which led to a whole incident of then the whole mutant edict thing and people talking about that, and Astaroth handling it so well. And then you went back to the Black Gold Inn, where eventually a little man named Bengt came to you in the night and offered to help y'all find the Manticore, because that's supposedly what the bounty hunter had come to them for. So you followed him out into the forest, and lo and behold, of course, it was a trap. Poor Bengt, being probably not the sharpest tool in the shed, was not made aware, seemingly, that it was a trap, because he seemed utterly confused by what was going on. But in some kind of cave where some kind of monster definitely lived, though it ended up not being the Manticore, you had a fight with those thugs, and the mysterious bounty hunter was with them. He fired a incredibly deadly crossbow shot, but luckily for y'all, it hit innocent Bengt instead of you. So Bengt died, you killed the other two thugs. The bounty hunter did escape after a fire started in the cave, which had been prepped with oil to, and if they had gotten their way, burn you all alive. So the bounty hunter escaped, and y'all attempted to go after him, but it seems that the fighting and the blood spilling and the fire, or either one of those individually or all of them combined, did actually attract the attention of the actual Manticore, and you had your first encounter with the beast. And it was terrifying and horrible, and you learned a couple little things about it. Dorothandrel most notably noticed that it was wreathed in dark magic to a almost comical degree, which is very concerning for a long multitude of reasons. And B, it seemed to have some kind of saddle on its back, though it doesn't look like any kind of saddle Dorothandrel's ever seen. It was very kind of bizarre in design, but it does seem to have some kind of rider, or at least it used to. And after that, you all ran for your lives because it was terrifying, and it's massive. It did kind of attempt a pursuit, at least initially, but wasn't able to really follow y'all that well into the Reichwald, especially probably with the overwhelming smell of smoke and other distractions that was coming out of the cave, or maybe it got called away by something else. Who can say for sure? But you did actually manage to make your way back to town, mostly thanks to Sigmund, I believe. Managed to kind of corral y'all towards civilization. And after, I believe y'all, if I recall correctly, y'all just fled straight back to the Bear Belly and left.
Yep.
So, yeah, so you made your way out of Weisbrook and back on to the river, which you then were able to take all the way down to Bogenhafen over the course of the next, I believe it's been 3 days? Or was it 4 days? I think it was 4 days to get from Weisbrook to Bogenhafen. I think it was 3 days to get from Altdorf to Weisbrook, if I remember correctly. So, that is where we left off. That y'all are approaching the city of Bogenhafen. Today is a very special day on the calendar because it is Middenheim, which means that it is the spring equinox. It is kind of the big spring festival, and is when the Schaffenfest begins. So it is, y'all are just in time. Literally cut it a little close, but nonetheless, you have arrived. You're about to arrive, I should say, but we will begin just a smidge before that, which is that. Did everyone spend XP? Make sure if you need to spend XP, you did. Also, did everybody make sure to accept their XP for the short-term party goal and the 100 for the session?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. So, it is very, very early morning. Like the sun's not even come over the horizon yet. It's that early in the morning. And you are all on the beer belly as it is making its way. You can see Bogenhafen looming up in the distance. It is coming up very soon. You can already like see there are boats tied very far out of town, like people who seem to have preferred staying a little further away from the city for whatever reasons they want. You can actually spy wagons and groups of travelers that are making their way towards the city, traveling by road. It seems that there are still a large amount of people that are making their way into Bogenhafen proper. And one thing you actually see quite a bit of is you see various farmers or ranchers with large groups of herd animals. So sheep, cattle, pigs, a lot of different various beasts, goats that are being brought into the for the festival, which does make a lot of sense, as the Schaffenfest is like even those of you, even the elf, even those of you from kind of the more boonies up north have heard at least little bits and pieces about the Schaffenfest. It is exceptionally well known because it is the only place where for one day of the year, livestock can be sold tax-free, which is a super duper duper big deal. A lot of people make an absolute metric ton of money at the Schaffenfest because you are able to avoid taxes. You know, it's kind of like Black Friday in the States, but for animals instead of computers or whatever you want to focus it on. But nonetheless, it's been a few days since your encounter with the Manticore. It's almost kind of faded away into being more of a bad dream than something that actually happened, because who encounters something like that? Those kinds of creatures are more said to be nightmares, things that aren't supposed to be real, not supposed to be actually encountered by people. But nonetheless, you did encounter it, and it's very unsettling to know that that thing is out there, and it's roaming the Empire and could strike anywhere at any time. And woe be to those who do encounter it. Y'all were fortunate. You were able to escape its attention. But how are you handling the day since?
Not too well. Well enough.
If y'all want, basically, it's early morning. Yosef is steering the boat to get y'all over to the docks in Bogenhafen, but you have a little bit, like maybe an hour before you're going to arrive if you want to talk amongst yourselves and make any plans about what you're going to do when you actually arrive. It's up to y'all if you want to bother with that or not.
I will approach Dorothandro, and I'll walk up to him and just say, "Oi, when we arrive, I need a favor from you.
What would that be?
Not only am I required once per week to send an update to the chapter house back in Altdorf, I also just need to inform the Knights Panther of what occurred, and I can't write. So, would you be willing to accompany me to a post office or some other place where we can write a letter, and I'll pay you for your time?
I can do that. It will definitely be better than whatever random scribe you find.
I appreciated it.
Dorthan will just look at Bogenhafen. How human does this city look?
It definitely it's extremely human. To the point that where some of the cities that you've encountered, especially like Marienburg, Altdorf, and those likes, many of them almost kind of have, they either have elven influence or were built on elven ruins, so there's little bits and pieces you're able to pick out. This place is definitely a ramshackle human design. Though the walls seem actually exceptionally sturdy. You suspect there's probably been dwarfs that have helped out quite a bit over the years with the design of this establishment, but there's certainly nothing even remotely elven about it. It's especially with the teeming masses that you already see wandering into it, and can already, especially with your sight, it is, you see thousands and thousands of humans. This is like, Altdorf is easily the most people you've ever seen, but this is the most people you've ever seen crowded into a space that is by no means intended to deal with this many people.
I wonder if there will be someone willing to run messages during the Schaffenfest.
I would need whatever the fastest method would be available, whether that's via a messenger or via a falcon. This letter needs to get back to Altdorf as soon as possible. I think a falcon might be the fastest, but I'm not too sure.
Well, that'll
We're
be
not
for
too far from Altdorf.
It'll depend on what the Imperial Post offers.
Yeah. Depends on what they have.
All right. Food is brought out by Wolmar. He offers kind of a little bowl of some. Yeah, gruel is not the appropriate term because it's more appetizing than that. But it's nothing spectacular, but it's definitely edible and it's warm. He says, "Last meal, lads.
All right.
For your turn
suppose I
loose to
can
do
look a
other
little bit.
things."
An apt term. Dora Thunder will take the bowl with deep regret.
Hey, Dorothander, when we get into town, can you help me write a letter and just send to Nuln?
My, all of you suddenly have an urge for the written word. Lenny, do you wish to have something written as well?
If you're offering, I'll take it, but I don't need it right now.
Walmart says, "We do have enough that you could draft some letters here on the way in if you wish. Yosef often uses it for preparing little writs for the various Steve Doors guilds if we have to deal with them occasionally."
She told me she should write all his stories down in a book.
All right, Felix.
Dora Thunder's gonna leave and waste all that paper.
So y'all can go ahead and get your letter, like talk to Dorothandrel and tell him what you want written. And if Dorothandrel wants to demand payment for his services, he can. That is up to y'all. But you can have that done before you even arrive. In Bogenhafen.
Sotek, I sent you the PDF.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome.
Also, Hawk, at some point before next session, if you could just in a Discord message, like write out what your character writes, just so I have that for any potential stuff that may come up, that'd be great.
Northanger, do you have the necessary tools to compose a letter now, or do we need to wait to get to the post office?
Yosef has the tools.
Yeah, y'all can do it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the general gist of it, I've got that all down, and without further ado, you arrive in Bogenhafen. And one thing I love so very much about this is the map is labeled. So you actually see where things are.
It's all black.
It's all black.
I'm also just on the Empire map.
Son of
We're so excited about us seeing.
son of a.
All right, I
I see
disabled the token stuff,
Ah, thank you.
so it should be visible.
Why did Hurl's... Or no, that's Hawk. Why did Hawk not move with everyone else? Why is he still...
I don't-
He's still...
I don't know. He's not even being pulled to the scene.
Yeah. Let's see. Am I able to move him specifically?
Yeah. So if you right-click at the bottom right under players, you'll get a pull to scene.
Okay, let's see if I can... Under actors?
No, so on the bottom right, where there's a little box with players and has Game Master, GM, the players' names, and their characters
I have
are
that.
as.
Sorry, I have that in a different spot. Okay. Pull to scene. Hawk, is it?
Nope, it's still on the Empire map.
Huh. Try leaving and coming back.
Okay.
That is a little strange. While he's doing that, so you all pull in to Bogenhafen proper. You can, as the sun is just starting to peek over the horizon, over in the east, you can already hear the bustling of crowds in the distance as folks are waking up and on their way to the Schaffenfest, which is about to begin. It probably has already started in many ways. You wouldn't be surprised if there are people already hitting the drinks or looking or putting on performances and trying to get people to part with their hard-earned coin. But nonetheless, in the meantime, Yosef starts pulling in to Hagen's Wharf over here, and as he pulls in on the Austin Dam, which is on this eastern side of the river, he shouts, "Prepare to rope up! Northandrel! Lenny, do your thing!"
Already on it.
Aye, Skipper.
And you won't need a test for this because you've done this many times. You know what you're doing. And you are able to pull in to Hagen's Wharf without any major issues, and the bear belly comes to a nice chill rest as you have finally arrived in the city of Bogenhafen proper. And as you're tying up the bear belly, making sure that everything is established, Yosef comes down from the wheel where he was directing and says, "Well then, that's us."
Oh, it would seem.
He does reach into his pouch. He did already pay all of you for the trip to Weisbrook. So now he pays you all for the trip from Weisbrook to Bogenhafen. So I think it was, 3 shillings a day? So he hands you each 12 shillings. Says, "Good work. Barge didn't explode. We made it here without too many issues. I appreciate your help, all of you."
Did we already add the pay, or we're adding
No,
in
this
the
is
12 shillings now?
this is an addition to
Oh.
last time.
And as a note, I was working in lieu of the trappings instead of payment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, then for you, that's fine. You get all of the... Assuming you didn't already add them, you have them all now.
I didn't add the pole.
You may have the poll.
Hooray.
As he kind of stands there, he nods to the lot of you and says, "Well, I need to head off to collect payment. Got a merchant named Rugbrudder I need to go see. And we've already got the guilds that are going to help offload the ship. They get awful testy if you try and do their work for them. So the four of you are free to go do as you watch. I would heavily recommend checking out the Schaffenfest if you weren't planning to already. It is quite the event. Nothing like it, really, in any other part of the Empire, at least none that I've seen.
We definitely will.
You have any other
Cannot
plans?
Thank you enough for your time.
Yes, actually, we were planning to run into the Manticore again.
Well, hopefully that won't be an option here.
Fortunately, it seems like it very well might be, but thank you again for allowing us passage on your boat. Watch out for those Mara women.
He nods and says, I'll watch out for him, all right. Can keep a man very good company on those cold, lonely nights. But in any event, try not to get yourselves killed out there. I don't think I'll stay for the entire Schaffenfest, probably only a day or two. See if we can get, purchase something from somebody here and cart it off maybe back to Altdorf or perhaps all the way up to Marienburg. We'll have to see. So, if I don't see you again, Bogen be with you, Sigmar be with you, and be safe.
You too, friend.
He nods
You have
and...
plenty of vegetables to toss overboard.
Always. Not like we bother eating them. He gives each of you a firm handshake. And Lenny, he gives you in particular a pretty big pat on the shoulder and sort of grips it and shakes you a little bit. He says, "You be all right, lad. I'll miss you."
Miss you too. Until next time we meet, of course. I do like traveling.
He'll pat you on the back a couple times, and then he walks down the plank, and he is off to go get his money.
I'll ignore the fact that the plank is just destroyed still.
He doesn't worry too much about it. Already, there are people from the appropriate guilds kind of swarming onto on the ship, people shouting at one another, grabbing barrels and starting to kind of plan how they're going to offload the ship and figuring out which warehouse it needs to go to and dealing with all of the paperwork. Like the bear belly is coming alive very, very quickly with a bunch of strange men who's are just hauling things everywhere and trying to get it done as quickly as possible.
Alright, so I'm not from around here. How does one celebrate this Schaffenfest?
Drink and be merry.
Done.
I think P said there was places to drink.
Y'all can already quite loudly hear the masses, the crowds, way over by this outside the eastern walls. You kind of saw it as you were coming in that there's like a lot of people were going around the walls of Bogenhafen. A lot of the crowds you saw, they weren't going because there weren't any. A lot of people were not bothering coming in the west gate because y'all came from more of this southern looking direction. They were instead just going out and around the fields. So it seems that the Schaffenfest is taking place outside the city walls. Though if you want to ask for directions, they're very easy to get.
I think a good plan would be to go to the post office immediately, so myself and Sigmund can take care of what we need to briefly. And then get settled in somewhere, and then examine the fairgrounds outside of the city. Does anybody else have any other ideas?
I will just toss in a reminder, just because amidst all the Manticore stuff, especially, it's probably easy to forget. Y'all do have that affidavit about Caster Lieberung, and that is for the Lock, Stock, and Barrel office here in Bogenhafen.
So Sigmund would probably want to look into that too over here.
Well, if y'all want that absolutely astronomical amount of gold that is a part of it, then I would assume so.
This is a thing I know about or I didn't know about.
I don't think you did, no.
I don't think we've told Letty.
I don't think we've considered doing it after a certain point. Because I don't think Sigmund was interested in impersonating someone.
That is not actually true based on what I very distinctly remember.
Yeah, no,
Having to re-edit the episodes.
No, there's definitely well, maybe. But it's a lot of money.
Yeah, what, it was 10,000 gold crowns? And a noble writ? So you would be an actual noble of the Empire? And there was also a plot of land involved.
Yeah.
Like, that is full-on life-changing.
Yeah, and is very specifically Sigmund's long-term goal.
Yeah, so, might be worth knocking that out while you're in town. Sooner rather than later.
Dorothandrel's gonna be shocked when he realizes this isn't the case.
So what say you, lads? To the post office?
Yeah, sure, why not? I've actually never sent a letter before.
That's the first time for everything. It's not as exciting as it sounds.
Poor Lenny doesn't have anyone that would want to receive a letter. All right, so as you are standing on the Austin Dam, I presume you would like to ask around for directions.
Yes.
Seeing as I don't believe any of you have ever been to Bogenhafen.
No.
Sure. If you want to ask for any kind of directions or anything, just roll like it's just an easy gossip check. It is not. People around here are pretty used to strangers coming through. These so still managed to
start off great.
Yeah. Anybody else?
My foundry is so borks right now.
Dorothandrel will watch Astaroth try to get people who are very busy and don't want to be stopped to talk attempt, and then he will go over.
Just shuffling from one side of the street to the other, like, excuse me. Yeah.
Just go over, grab Astaroth's shoulders, steer him to someone stationary. And begin. So, about this wonderful town of Bogenhafen you have.
Pretty much as soon as you start talking, he kind of holds up a hand and interrupts. He goes, just walk down the dock till you get to the Hafenstrasse, and then hook a left and just follow it down. You can't miss it. It's right outside the walls, right outside the east gate.
What about
the post office outside of the gates?
Oh,
how intriguing!
The post office. Most people ask about the Schaffenfest. The post office. It's along the same way. Head down until it's just by the town hall. So you'll go down the Hafenstrasse, and then there's a whole big building where all the big fancy hats hang out and do all their important business. You should be able to find it just around there.
Down the Hafenstrasse. Thank you.
Can't miss it.
The post office? It's that fancy.
No, the Hafenstrasse. Big road. You can miss the post office. I've never been there. I just know where it is.
Hi. Thank you for the directions, friend. I'm sure we'll be able to find it.
He gives you a nod and goes back to doing a very good job watching other people work. Must be a supervisor.
Alright, so I assume we're going to continue to make our way down that direction.
Awesome. All right, y'all head down the Hafenstrasse, and sure enough, almost the exact moment you turn onto that road, it is like just a swarm of people all migrating together towards the East Gate. And it's all people from all sorts of different walks of life. You see beggars that are barely clothed or wearing rags that clearly have not been washed in God knows how long. You've got merchants, you see nobles, a lot of people brushing shoulders that would never do so otherwise, all excitedly talking as they're kind of milling about. And you're able to just sort of join this human river quite easily. But as you make your way past the imposing and large town hall, which is the second largest building in the city, second only to the High Temple of Sigmar, over closer to the Outer Ring, you are actually able to spot the Imperial Post. They have a very distinct sign that they hang from all four corners of their little building that is posted right next to the town hall, as many missives are sent to and received from the town hall specifically, so they tend to be stationed right next to it, at least in the better designed cities, because it helps cut down on a lot of unnecessary, shall we say, back and forthing. And sending letters is a very easy affair. They're getting a ton of postage, mostly things coming in, not a ton going out, though you do see a fair number of merchants who are constantly kind of coming in and out, sending out various missives about things they've discovered or things maybe that they've heard. You see a couple of merchants squabbling with one another about like how much they're going to be spending, and I'm sure his lordship would be willing to pay X amount. Another says no, we should aim to do this amount, and we should pick for this kind of sheep, not this other kind of sheep. I hear that this year this particular sheep had an excellent herds, and so there's kind of just a lot of that milling about, but you're able to kind of worm your way through the line, get to the actual clerk. And they're going to be just charging, like, just because of everything that's going on. They'll give them 2 brass for every letter, and you're good. They'll take care of it.
So Astaroth, I don't like run in because I'm not running, but I walk in so fast that I bump into the counter in front of the clerk with bags under my eyes and bloodshot eyes, and just go, I need this to get to Altdorf as fast as your post office can do it.
There is an older woman sitting behind the desk, and she kind of looks up at you with that sort of like practiced exhaustion that comes from people making the same request day in and day out for almost as long as this person's probably been alive. And she says, the fastest we've got?
Yes, I am just a squire, but it is official. It is official business.
All right, we can put our fastest runner on it. It'll take a few days, but it'll get there quick. It'll be 6 pence instead of just the usual 2.
Done. Those pennies, right?
Yeah. Sigmund, you're also are you just sending regular snail mail? You don't really care when it gets there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long anyway.
Yeah, so for you, it's just the 2. It's fine. Cool. Oh, there was his roll.
No, that was me rolling through his character sheet to make sure that the character sheet wasn't borked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it said Sigmund for a second. Now it says Dwarf Andrew.
Okay.
I deleted the roll.
Yeah, Hawk, are you able to like do anything?
Not really. Like, I can't even like adjust my shillings.
Are you using the same browser that you always do? I know it's a stupid question.
Yeah, I do know that some browsers have difficulty. If you could try switching to Chrome, that's one I found to work best with Foundry, but...
Yeah, I'll switch over.
Okay. Oh, are you on like Firefox or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, try switching to Chrome and we'll see if that fixes the issue. All right. So, you've dropped off your postage. What are y'all going to do?
Before we head out of the building, Lenny will also walk up to the woman. Do you send any letters to Skjold?
She kind of looks up and she kind of like narrows her eyes. She goes, "We send to anywhere in the Empire, hun."
Ah. Okay, I'll look for another post office, and he'll leave the building with the rest of the crew.
As he walks out, I'm gonna just stop and kind of like rub my eyes and stand there for a minute. And as I'm just kind of collecting myself, I just like to see if I can hear talking about anything.
Roll an average gossip test. There's a lot of people are talking about a lot of things. We'll see if you suss out anything that really catches your
Nope.
Cool.
It's so noisy, and it's way too early for this. Like, you're tired, you haven't been sleeping well, you're having nightmares. Like, it's gotten better the last day or so, and like being among people it's like, on one hand, it's kind of nice to be part of a huge crowd, but on the other hand, you're not used to it, and it's really stressful and really noisy, and you just can't focus on any of the particular conversations. Everything's just kind of a wall of sound.
Bah! Just slap my cheeks and shake my head and walk out of the post office. Sigmund didn't, back a while when we found your doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't part of that whole situation here in Bogenhafen? Wasn't there a lawyer or something? Are you...
Am I in earshot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not trying
Okay.
to hide it. Are
Okay,
you
good.
going to pursue that angle, or have you made up your mind?
It hasn't been on my mind recently, but it's too much to pass up on.
I would say that's fair. Would you like to take care of that today? Now or later? I mean, I don't want to make you rush or anything. We're out and about. I'm more than happy to accompany you.
Well, surely this place will still be around after the Schaffenfest.
Astaroth kind of chuckles and puts his head down and goes, "Who knows? Who knows if any of this will be here?"
That being said, having all of that money and could be quite nice going into the Schaffenfest where literally anything can be found.
The building might be there after software. It might not. Maybe the Manticore will land on it. If it doesn't land on it, maybe the gentleman he has to see will get eaten. Who knows?
He's going full conspiracy mode with the Manticore right now.
Yeah.
At any moment, it's going to swoop down and wipe out everyone.
It's gonna swoop down from the sky. I saw it.
I'm certain that should the lawyer get eaten,
Someone else.
Mr. Castor, Dorthander will give Sigmund a scathing look at the Castor name, is certain to be able to hire any lawyer for a small amount of money from the prospective windfall to vigorously defend his claim to said money.
Hey, it's right. It's rightfully his. I start laughing.
I don't think I'm going to be taking you with me if this is how you're going to be acting, though.
Oh, no. I'm amongst friends. Of course not.
It's not far from where y'all are. Grant, you'll need a little bit of directions, but it is on the way, I should say, to the Schaffenfest as well. According to the letter that you have, that gives the address for Lock, Stock, and Barrel, it is basically in this part. It's a little bit north of the East Gate, so it's up a little bit above the Eisenbahn. So it's on the other side of the Eisenbahn up here from the Metalworkers Guild. So it's not too much of a detour.
Yeah. Let's stop by. See if we just pick up an easy 10,000 crowns.
Is there any reason why you seem so upset about picking this up?
Lenny, how well can you keep a secret?
Amazingly. I talk to no one.
You talk to everyone.
Nope.
Lies.
Um,
Where we're going, don't say anything.
Sure. I can do that.
Yeah.
Not a
Think
single word.
just to get our story straight, I don't know who's going to be
Caster
going.
Lieberung.
No, yes, but who are we to you? Your friends? 'Cause obviously, I don't think you want to be telling these people that you're out hunting a manticore.
Your traveling companions.
I know
There's
you
always
said. I know
safety
you
in
said
numbers.
hunting, but I swear I heard humping, and I was like, "What?"
That's a very different campaign.
Yeah.
That's where we get to play a bunch of Centaurs.
Sorry, carry on.
No. Okay, no, I just wanted to be sure. God forbid. Although it's unlikely someone was to ask one of us anything, I want to make sure we all have the same answers. Okay.
All right. So y'all make your way further down. You get to the Gutenplatz, and you make your way down the Nolnerweg, and then you're able to turn. Once you actually turn on into the alleys to get make your way towards the Eisenbahn instead of following along the crowds almost immediately dissipate. Everyone is kind of flowing down the main roads, trying to get out the East Gate, which is quite congested. So it's actually probably a good thing to be taking a little bit of a detour right now to give that congestion time to kind of filter itself out, because getting that many people through the gates is proving to be difficult, especially as they're trying to charge people the toll. But there's only so much pressure the gate can really, the guards at the gate can really take before they're kind of just trying to wave people through, especially because amidst the crowd are nobles and merchants and other high influence individuals who are not going to pay these tolls because they don't need to. They have enough authority, they're able to just force their way through, and they're getting very irritable about the congestion, the traffic. So there's kind of issues taking place that are slowly building up to be of concern. So once you actually turn onto kind of the side roads and the alleyways, you're able to very easily get away from these crowds, make your way past the Metalworkers Guild. Once you arrive around the Eisenbahn specifically, you will probably need to ask around a little bit. If any of you want to roll a easy gossip check to try and figure out where Lockstock and Barrel is, like where it specifically is. You have been the only thing that you have to work on is that it is supposedly on a little
Astaroth, you don't get to talk in Bogenhafen anymore.
On what's called the Gartenweg. But so Sigmund, you're actually able to ask around and are you tell people you're Lockstock Barrel Law Office, supposed to be on the Gartenweg around here somewhere. Asking around, you are told that nobody seems to have ever heard of this place. You ask around and you get one of two responses. They either have never heard of it and suggest that maybe you're confusing it or have the wrong name, or two is you have some people who find the idea that there is a law office in this part of town, which it's not like the super awful part of town. That's across the river over in what's known as the Pit, which is bad. That's the poor town quarter. It is a mess over there. But it is definitely a seedier part of Bogenhafen, this side of the Eisenbahn. So like the fact that there would be a law office here is getting a couple of raised eyebrows, but everyone seems to kind of not really know. If y'all want, as you're wandering around a little bit, if everyone could just roll me a challenging, let's say a navigation check, as you're kind of looking down alleys, checking out various businesses, and just seeing if you can actually find this place. Ooh, look at Sigmund. Sigmund hard carry. So, as you're kind of wandering through the streets, eventually, Sigmund and Astaroth, actually Astaroth rolled better, so Astaroth will spot it first. You're kind of looking around, and sure enough, there's nothing here that you would even remotely describe as a law office.
Mhm.
If this place, you kind of start realizing that this place does exist, it is singularly unique among the other types of buildings. There are office type structures around here, but they're not used as that caliber of an office. It's mostly warehouses or residential places. But the further you kind of wander in to this part of town, the more quiet it gets. And it's mostly because everyone's been drawn away by the Schaffenfest, but there's really nobody out here. Like, you start getting to the point where you're not running into anybody anymore. Like, there's no beggars, there's no people wandering the streets. It's just very quiet. And a lot of the buildings have shuttered their windows and have closed up, presumably because they've gone down to the Schaffenfest, or maybe because no one's there. But eventually, Astaroth, you spot down an alley. You do see a sign above a door, and it says lock, stock, and barrel, lawyers, etc. It is alone and by itself. It is very weird.
Sigmund, I think that's it. But I don't know what you think. Doesn't look legitimate.
Uniquely, the windows are not shuttered; they are full open. Like, it looks open.
Mm-hmm.
Looks kind of I hate. Be on your guard, I guess.
Yep, have been since the streets got quiet.
Did I roll for perception?
Sure. What do you actually?
Just to see if I notice anything around or any noises or.
Yeah, roll an average perception check. It is very quiet. Like, there is nobody around here. If you had this business, it's peculiar. That it's here of all places and not presumably with the other law offices in a different part of town where they would be more likely to be visited. Law offices tend to be the average citizen of the empire, and those beneath them very, very rarely do anything in life that actually requires involvement with a law office. Because a law office means you're dealing with lawyers, which means you're dealing with interpretation and understanding of the law, which most people just don't care about. They just live their lives not bothering about like a full understanding of the laws, which are constantly changing anyway. And it's a hassle. So it's more for people that are like merchants or higher standing who are trying to maneuver or manipulate the law for their own personal gain. So having one that's kind of in this weird mix of like a residential district that also like does have businesses, but there's no notable businesses around here. You don't even see any guilds around here. There's no inns, there's no taverns. It's just odd. That being said, it doesn't appear overtly dangerous. It doesn't look like badly worn. It looks like in reasonable shape, and it looks open, but you don't hear anything strange. You don't smell anything strange. It's just like you can hear the Schaffenfest in the distance. Y'all are actually fairly close to it. It's just on the other side of the wall. But there's nothing alarming. I'll put it that way. Other than this just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can try with that perception test, and you're a decently tall individual, if I recall correctly. You can try and like peer in through the window if you'd like.
I'm 5'3". I ain't.
Oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
Sigmund's the taller one. He's 6'1".
Yeah.
Never mind, Astaroth. Enjoy your manlet life. Yeah, no.
Well, Sigmund, whenever you're ready, you can do your thing. If you want me to come in with you, I promise I won't say a word unless spoken to.
Everyone should probably come in just so no one's out here by themselves, at least.
Oh yes,
true.
this is certainly where I would safe keep the items mentioned in
Northandrel.
your message.
I mean, they might say, like, hey, go to, the bank, and with this writ, you can access the money there. I don't know.
What was that, Earls? You cut out.
Yeah, Northandrel, if I recall, when we saw the Manticore, you said you can see magic?
Dorothan will wave his hand. Yes.
Just curious, do you see anything
You do
around
not.
here? Okay.
I see a decrepit hovel.
Okay. I was just curious. No worries.
I will knock on the door.
All right. From within, you hear a "Come in." It's open.
I will push the door in.
All right. Is everyone going inside, or any of you wanting to stay outside?
I think it said everyone's going to come in.
I'm going in.
Dorothandel shall try to figure out how to enter this building with a mop, a bucket, and a 9-foot pole.
The real answer is very carefully. Presumably with some of them. I imagine you found a way to hitch the bucket either around on something on your waist, or off your shoulder. You can carry the mop and the pole probably just under your arm. It's gonna look a little weird, but it's a city just full of people. There's lots of weird stuff going on. You're just, if anything, you're just on your way between jobs. You can get in through the door. You just gotta kind of aim it right.
Dorothandel shall shimmy through.
You all make your way inside, and it's just like outside. The inside is quite quiet. It's a fairly sparsely furnitured building. There's no on the inside. There's no pictures on the walls. The paint's chipped in like a number of places. But there is someone in here. There's a young man who's fairly well dressed. He's even got some little spectacles, and he's sitting at a desk. And there's a door behind him that goes presumably to a different part of the building. And he has stacks of paper on the desk, and he's just kind of looking at. He has some papers that are bound together, and is just sort of flipping his way through. And he has a quill and some ink, and he's just jotting little notes in the book before him. And as the four of you walk in, he sort of looks up and takes you in, and his eyes in particular are drawn to Dorothandel, and he sort of takes you in very slowly. Kind of first his eyes are drawn to your more alien features and being, oh, it's an elf. And then his eyes are drawn to what you're holding in his you could see the thoughts written plainly on his face of, what is he holding? Is that a mop? Why does an elf have a mop? And you can kind of see that consternation taking place, very obviously written on his face, before he sort of shakes himself and focuses on the four of you. His eyes also sort of drawn to Lenny of, what a weird looking guy, before he finally goes, welcome to Lock, Stock, and Barrow. How may I assist you?
Lenny's gonna wave but say nothing.
I have come as I was told. I have an inheritance to acquire. My name is Castor Lieberung. I don't know. Turn to Dorthandel because he's the only one that can read, so he had the stuff, the paperwork, and
I gave the
also the
paperwork back
affidavit.
to you.
Yeah.
All right, so you're
I
going to
will.
present the letter and the affidavit.
Yep.
You hand them, and he looks down at them, and he gets a broad smile on his face. He goes, "Oh, Herr Barl has been very much looking forward to meeting you, Herr Lieberung. I'll let him know that you've arrived. Please wait here just a moment."
It's a shame he was looking forward to it so much he could not buy appropriate furniture.
he kind of like gives you a really look, and says, "Well, Herr Barl keeps the nice furniture not in the main lobby, but with his personal offices, so that when people come in off the streets, they're less inclined to do
Place their
anything
mop on it?
regrettable."
I feel this could have been alleviated by purchasing adequate residence. And does he usually not invite esteemed guests into his private study? He leaves them out in this vacant lobby.
He kind of just like shrugs his head. "I don't know, Herr Elf. I just work here."
How would you not know about your employer?
He stands up and
Should you be letting many people? Dorothy will say this with deep suspicion that anyone has ever come here important.
he'll
To his private study for discussions on contracts or something?
he will stand and kind of shuffle, grabs the two papers, and goes, I will allow you to ask Elbar yourself." He does seem a little frazzled by your kind of pushing on the subject. He goes, I'll be right back. And
Surely he has decent seating arrangements there.
I
will look at the lack of seats.
He's like sweating now because this is getting too much for him. And he goes, "Please, sir, I just a moment, please."
I love Dorthandel.
He will take the two letters and immediately retreats out the back, the door behind his desk.
Dorthan will go over and read what he was writing.
Although he took the little book with him, most of the paper that is on the desk, the vast majority of it is blank. However, many of them are pieces of paper referring to specifics of imperial law. What is interesting to you that you're able to kind of notice immediately is that this young man seems to have been making a lot of notations about specific, like on the various laws. He seems to be writing references to other laws or noting particular, like he's underlined certain portions and written things along the lines of like, see this particular case about how this might apply to another case, or and you mentioned there are mentions of a professor. Kind of putting two and two together, these look like study notes. So he's likely some sort of student.
You just harassed a college intern.
He deserved it.
It's good training for him.
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna slide up next to Sigmund, and lean up just so Sigmund can hear me, and I'll just smile and say, "And you were worried about me," and give him a little playful elbow nudge.
Hey, you don't even know he's a student.
As you give him that playful nudge, all four of you hear a shakung, 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 and all of a sudden, all of the windows snap shut. The covers are the shutters are thrown across all of the windows, and the room goes dark.
Sword comes out.
Dorothandel takes paper from that desk.
Fair. Sure. Add. I'm gonna cut you off at 10. but you can add paper to your inventory if you'd so like.
All right, I
Piece of
stuff
parchment.
paper in my bucket.
So a few moments pass, and then you hear the following. Caster Liberung, otherwise known as the Magister Impedimentae of the Cult of the Purple Hand. In the name of the Emperor, I arrest you and your companions for conspiring with chaos, murder, theft, and other crimes hereinafter to be enumerated. Lay down your weapons and surrender.
Sorry, who?
The voice does not identify themselves, though it does sound vaguely familiar.
What a wonderful day.
At least we got the
God's name is-
shopping fest to go to after this.
God's name is the Purple Hand.
Some chaos cult, probably. Dorothan will jiggle the back door handle behind the desk.
Although it moves, the door is very firmly bolted.
From the other side.
Yes.
I mean, none of us are Chaos worshippers. I've never heard of the Purple Hand before.
Yes,
just-
he's going to believe you.
Come out here and talk. Maybe try and sort this out.
Can we see through the shutters?
There's a little crack if you want to look through it, Dorthandrel.
Yeah, just to see if there's like 50 men outside with guns.
All right. As you look out the window, and the rest of you are kind of, and Astaroth's kind of calling out. Suddenly, y'all hear what can. I'm not going to do it because my mic will peek out, but you hear a shriek, the most horrible, gut-wrenching, heart into the bottom of your chest, human shriek of abject terror you have ever heard. Multiple someones, crying out in what can only be described as just a manifestation of fear. And it is immediately cut off and followed by cracking and wet ripping. And Dorothandra, through your little peek you see in the window, you see just a flood of blood come, along with chunks of something, come down from above and splatter across the ground. And after a few more of the wet rips, everything goes silent.
Odd, I have never found myself enjoying being inside such an edifice. I do believe something just ripped a man apart outside.
I think multiple men. And also, I don't think it was the Manticore, because the whole town would be up in a tizzy.
And if it just flew in, it very well could be the Manticore. What else would be lurking in the alleys of Bogenhafen?
Despite the loud shriek, like echoing throughout the alley, there doesn't seem to be like any response or life of any kind. It's just quiet, and y'all are just trapped in this room.
Not even from the college intern?
No. There is everything is quiet, utterly.
Can we? I'm gonna.
Door opens in.
Yeah. This is awful. Can I try and force the door that the intern went through?
Sure, you just want to like ram it.
Yeah.
Roll me a do you want to like hack through it, or do you just want to like throw your body against it?
Throw my body against it, like try and kick it in.
All right. Yeah, just roll me a average strength check. Or you can roll a like a melee brawling if you wish as well.
I have brawl. I think I just have melee and melee basic.
Yeah, you could just do melee. It's fine.
You said it was just challenging.
Yep. No, average.
Oh God.
Does anyone want to assist?
Yes, I will assist. You said just a melee will work.
Uh-huh.
Challenging,
Average.
average. Okay. Wow. Nice.
All right. So, Sigmund, you and Astaroth kind of work together, and you slam your bodies against the door, and the door does buckle a bit. Like there's a loud crack as part of the wood splinters, and you can see light kind of like coming through the various cracks. It doesn't completely give way yet, but the door is definitely slowly but surely losing its contest against you. If y'all would like to take another rush at it.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Finally, Astaroth is no longer unstoppable.
Bogenhafen is Astaroth's kryptonite.
I
Exactly.
think it might just be doors.
He's been rolling poorly all.
The last two sessions.
It breaks a little more. still up.
Lenny,
You could
you wanna?
you could try a different door. Maybe the other one's easier.
I don't know. Why are we so keen to head out? Seems fairly safe here.
Oh,
Because
we're not heading out. We're going further into the building, Letty. This goes back to where that gentleman went.
Oh,
I'd like to see what's back there.
In that case, and he'll come up. Is this melee basic?
So y'all are going against the back door, correct?
Yeah, the door that the intern
okay, yeah.
went.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Melee basic is fine.
How do I melee basic?
Do you
Should be under skills and on the right hand side.
Yeah,
let
if
me-
you have.
Oh, okay.
Melee.
Melee.
Yeah, just roll melee. If you don't have melee basic, so just roll. Wow, you are not good at fighting. All right. So, okay, yeah. Y'all, luckily, fumble. Lenny, you and Sigmund go against the door together, and Lenny, you're a little bit ahead of Sigmund, a little bit too far ahead, and you slam into the door first, and the door just wins that particular engagement. And you can't help but feel, it's like, if you've ever run into something that just does not yield against you, you know how that hurts. Like, it's not actually going to deal any damage to you, but like you kind of have the equivalent of just slamming into a wall with your shoulder and the wall being like, nah.
Yep. This
But
door is unbreakable.
Sigmund, you finally hit the door. Y'all have kind of busted it a bit, and you finally nail that sweet spot, and the door just like bursts open, almost cracked in half because of the different ways y'all have run into it. But finally it flings open, and you find yourselves looking into a back alley.
Well,
Is there any corpses or anything back here? Or?
As you step out and look around, just next to you, you do see a corpse. A very heavily mutilated corpse. And the first thing that catches your attention is just how badly mangled this corpse is. It has been absolutely torn to pieces. The chest and stomach have been ripped open, and you can actually see this man's heart on the ground, torn in two. And amidst this pool of blood and the entrails, just the intestines looping everywhere along the ground, you actually see the man's eyes just staring in abject terror. And upon seeing his face, And also what little bits of his armor that are not covered in gore, you realize you recognize this man. It's the bounty
come
hunter.
on.
It's the bounty hunter.
Okay. Guessing most of his equipment is also ruined.
His clothing has been completely and utterly shredded apart. The crossbow is actually fine.
Just look down and say, "What a damn shame! I told him I was going to kill him."
Do you want to search his body for any other things he might have on him?
Yes, I would like to, please.
All right, so it's a mess. It's kind of gross. But there is a crossbow. Bizarrely, the bolts are missing. But
Can I look around the room, like the ceiling?
We're in the
Hole in the wall.
alleyway
We're in
now.
an alley outside.
Alleyway, sorry.
yeah, so you want to like look around at like the rooftops and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see there were two other men. But their corpses are still managed to have stayed up on the rooftops, and there's blood just like dripping down, like flowing down from their corpses. They have been similarly mangled. It looks like they have been absolutely ripped to pieces by something.
What in the God's name could kill that many men that fast?
Do you want me to start listing them?
So next to the bounty hunter's body, sorry, there's a crossbow. Bolts don't seem to be there, but you can tell he seemed to have fallen from the roof, so maybe there's something up there. And there is also a set of iron manacles and keys hanging from his belt. And, Astaroth, as you're searching, you see a piece of paper sticking out of his boot. And as you take it out, you realize that it is got writing on it, but you cannot read.
Northandrel, it appears he had a parchment on him. So kind as to read it.
Where the hell are the things?
Tokens.
No, they're not tokens. Where do they put them? They're not in the journal section. Are they items? No, they're not.
No,
items.
they are journals. So with the change in how it stores PDF or how it stores journals, they're probably inside of one journal.
Oh,
so when you
geez.
open up a journal on the left side, there'll be a list of things that are in that journal.
Uh-huh.
And it should probably have
You cut out. Should probably have what?
It should probably have, like, it'd say handout 1, handout 2, handout 3.
Let's see. It's a trap, the bounty hunter. Ah, here they are. Handouts. Oh, they're in the appendices. Okay.
And then you can click the thing on the left to show a specific handout from the journal on its name.
Okay, so this is, I believe this is, yes, this is the letter. The thing on the left?
Yeah, so there should be a list of pages on the left, like bookmarks. You right-click the bookmark and do the show to players from there.
I see numbers. So, like, this is number 10, it says handout 7, the letter. Oh, I'll just do this. Show players. There, can you all see it?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, that is what you find.
For the personal attention of Herr Adolphus Crofton, from the Middenheim Road in Altdorf. You recall a certain conversation we had last some month in the public. What on earth is it with you and your obsession with this curly writing?
If you need me to read it out to y'all, I can.
Okay, that would be good. I can't zoom in.
Okay, so it's my dear Eric Kuftos, you may recall a certain conversation we had last Brogzite in the public bar of the Hook and Hatchet in Nuln. At the time, you mentioned your interest in the activities of a certain society whose name I shall not mention here. In particular, you were very anxious to trace the whereabouts of a certain officer known only as the Magister Impedimenti. I am now able to confirm each and every one of your suspicions. After your departure, I made some discreet inquiries and managed to ascertain that the person you seek uses the name Castor Lieberung. In accordance with your plan, Herr Lieberung will be traveling towards Altdorf on the Middenheim Road at some time towards the end of the month of Yardrung. I have also had the good fortune to secure the likeness of Herr Lieberung, which I will enclose with this letter. I remain, sir, your most obedient servant, QF.
What does that last line mean? I also had the.
He got a picture, someone or a sketch of.
Yeah, he had a sketch of Castor Lieberung's face.
Okay, I thought
which,
so. I just wanted
as
to
y'all
clarify.
know, is Sigmund's face.
Yeah.
So, Sigmund, it would appear that the reason this gentleman was following us is not because anything that we've done, but he thought you were Castor Lieberung.
Yeah. Also, we're burning that inheritance and affidavit. That way we don't have that says that I'm actually this person. If they're...
Yep.
Well, the good news
exactly
is
what I was about to say.
The good news is that paper's gone.
Right, because I gave it to the scribe.
Yeah, you do not see the scribe. He appears to be long gone. He's not one. The corpses were definitely rougher men.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I do have to say, this does appear to be better written than the other documents.
Dorthandrel, yeah, you can easily tell that this was written by someone that is at minimum some sort of scholar, or at least very well educated.
Here that I think everybody except for that intern, I guess, or desk hand, that thought you were Castor Lieberung is dead. So I'm in agreement with you that we should definitely just forget if this ever happened and never ever mention the name Castor Lieberung again. My only concern is that the squire is not.
You're the squire.
Or the desk hand, sorry. What if he somehow was a member of the cult? That's something we'll have to keep in mind.
I don't believe so, because if he was, Castor Lieberung is supposedly also a member of that cult.
So perhaps he is now. He has proof that you're alive.
Yes.
And not perish, because the other you perished on the
not
road.
Another me. It was Castor.
Yeah.
Two very different people.
He's the only body that I don't see here.
We only
Could
look
he
the exact same.
Yes. Well, mostly the same. He said, because I've got some scars he didn't have.
Something to think about, because I don't see his corpse here at all. Could he have gotten away before whatever attacked these people came? Sure. What if he was?
Maybe he was in the alleyway and wasn't spotted while those guys were up on a roof, and
Or what if he was some type of monster and turned into a foul beast and killed everyone for us? And he thinks you're his master, and I chuckle.
Or he could just be a budding law student trying to make some money on the side and will at some point remember that many of his notes is in that building.
well, not anymore.
Yeah, no, many of his notes are now in your pocket.
I took the blank parchment.
I love the idea
Sorry.
that Elf just steals the student's law notes.
Now that you mention it, Dorthan will go back and collect up the law notes. And I wonder if they have any notations on that mutant edict.
Ah! That's a good point.
You do not see anything that seems to relate to that at all.
Doesn't seem to have made it into the curriculum yet.
Now everything's kind of wrapping up. Do I see any like roof access, any ladders?
I will note while y'all are here that while no one has responded to it yet, there are four of you standing in an alley with 3 horribly mutilated corpses.
Well, there's only one mutilated corpse in the alley.
Well, the other two are quite visible from the alley.
Is there any like roof access or anything like that that you can easily see?
Not that you can see from your current position. If you want to wander around a little bit, you might be able to find it. But you know, if the watch comes, if someone did call for the watch and they are on their way here, y'all, you know, just consider that how this might look.
I'm gonna go. While these guys want to look around, I'm gonna go to like the entrance to the alleyway and shift into my actual role of being a watchman and like standing guard, keeping an eye out.
Not suspicious at all. Okay.
Yep.
May I attempt to climb up to one of the bodies?
If y'all look around a little bit, it's not hard to find some roof access. You have to go around the building that is adjacent to what was being claimed as Lock, Stock, and Barrel, although y'all have been able to put together that this was obviously a trap meant to lure in Caster Lieberung, and was probably not a real law office.
You mean there's not 10,000 crowns for me?
Probably not. Probably not. And you are able to find a ladder that lets you get up onto the roof where you can approach those bodies if you would wish.
Let me go up, Lenny. I'm much smaller than you, and the odds of someone seeing me on the roof if I crouch and maintain crouch position is a lot less than if you were to go up there. So I will go up and try my best to not be spotted.
Yeah,
did I roll a stealth check for that, Sotek?
How many episodes?
No,
try and, like,
because there's no one looking.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, give a holler if you need anything though. I'll be on standby.
Okay. Let me know if you see anybody coming, Lenny.
Keep an eye out.
Yes. Okay. So you're able to climb up on the roof without any serious issues. If you just want to look at the bodies, they don't. Everything that they did have was shredded along with them.
Do I see like claw marks or impact craters or
You can roll me a challenging perception check, but if you have something like if you have heal, that would be better.
I do have heal.
So if you could roll me I would say roll a heal check to try and determine what exactly is going on here. Or if you want, you could try and use Lore Beasts to try and like figure out if there's like a creature that's similar to this or what's going on here.
I have a higher beast, so my heal is 40, my Lore Beast is 47. So it'd probably be better to roll the beast, correct?
Yeah, whatever you want. Whatever's easiest. Lore Beasts, so Lore Beasts and Perception will be challenging. If you do heal, it'll be average.
Oh, okay. I'll just do heal then.
Nice. So claws. Yeah. They were ripped apart. They were not cut apart. They were torn to pieces by something monstrously strong. Like this, although it is not as it's definitely not as chaotic and as big of an area as like those Knights Panther y'all found destroyed by the Manticore. It is instead, it seems much more methodical. And the thing that really jumps out at you is that every single one of them had their hearts ripped out and torn in half, which is really weird. Like there was a very specific strategy used to kill these men other than just tearing them apart like wet paper. But whatever did this definitely used claws and not any kind of normal weapon, and definitely was incredibly strong.
Okay. I'll keep note of that. Is there anything else that I see on the bodies, or
No, not really.
do I find the bounty hunter's bolts up here?
You do see a satchel with some bolts in it if you would like to grab it.
Are there any identifying marks on it? On
No.
the satchel?
No.
I am definitely going to take it.
All right, you can take the bolts. There are 20 of them.
I'm going to make my way back down, reconvene with Lenny, and make my way back up the alley. I'm going to... Is there any identifying marks on the crossbow?
Sigmund!
Any insignias? Or...
Roll me
Yes.
a D100. Let's see if y'all are tempting fate here.
Nope.
A 17. Sigmund, you see what is very obviously a beggar starting to wander down the main, the larger alleyway that intersects with the very small alley that y'all are on. Y'all are more coming down the street. It's not the Eisenbahn, it's the main street that leads to the Eisenbahn from here. There's a beggar wandering y'all's direction.
Okay.
It's going to take him maybe a minute to get to where y'all are at and see what's going on.
Can I just head him off and flick him a shilling and tell him to find somewhere else?
So as you come out of the alley and he sees you, you look like a watchman. Like you're very obviously a watchman.
Yeah.
And he kind of like shies away immediately. And like kind of cowers his hands up by his face. Like he clearly was not expecting to see you here, or anyone probably for that matter. And he says, please, just, I'm just looking for some alms, sir. Just some alms. Don't hurt me.
I will pull out a silver shilling.
So I'm going to once again reiterate this before you do it, but you can continue if you want. A silver shilling is a lot of money.
Yes, but I paid my last brass pennies to...
Oh, you don't have any brass?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right, continue.
Pay him a silver shilling to kick rock somewhere else.
Okay. Okay. I need you to roll me another D100.
Okay.
And you are wanting
Nope.
Okay. He his eyes get huge and he like snatches the shilling away from him. He goes, "Oh, bless you, sir. Blessings of Shali on you, sir. Bless you." And he does as you ask. He creeps away. He kind of vanishes down a different alley.
All
right, what's going up, rooftop? What are you doing?
I'd already come down from the rooftop.
Okay. You're down. The four of you are together. What are you going to do?
I was asking about the crossbow, if there was any identifying marks on the crossbow, like insignias. I'm going to take the crossbow.
Okay. You can add a crossbow to your inventory.
Thank you.
You remember how to do that?
I can
go into items.
Under items.
Just type crossbow. It'll show up. Drag it down to your sheet. And you'll do the same thing for
satchel bolts.
Just make sure you use the up in arms bolt, not the magic bolt. Two different.
Not quite that good, or crossbolt.
Yeah. All right. So y'all are still in Murder Alley. What are you gonna
do? We should leave.
Yeah, let's go to the Schaffenfest.
All right. Well, that's enough death. Let's go.
Right. So Sotek, you said it was 20 or 30?
20
bolts.
20 bolts.
Thank you.
You are able to make your way back to the Eisenbahn very easily and skedaddle your way towards the East Gate. By the time y'all arrive, the traffic has been heavily sorted. I need everyone to roll me. You can either roll me a average charm check or a average stealth check if you want to avoid paying the toll. Otherwise, they are charging everyone 2 brass to get through the gate.
I'm fine with it.
All right, Sigmund's able to just kind of tip his watch hat, and they just assume that he's working with them, and there are no problems. Lenny, you're able to very easily sweet talk your way through, and they just don't want it. Like, as soon as they realize you're going to keep talking, they just wave you through.
Is that challenging or average? I'm sorry.
It's average for either stealth or charm.
Nope.
God damn it.
Dorthandrel and Astaroth, you are both individually stopped by particularly stubborn watchmen that are damn determined to do their job. They will demand 2 brass from you to pass through the gate.
Okay, that's fine. No worries.
While that's happening, can I gossip around to figure out why the area we came from is so weirdly empty?
Yeah, go for it. It'll be easy. Kind of asking around, it's able to it's very easy for you to put together based on what little bits of information you're able to get, that basically it is vastly a residential district and everybody's at the shopping fest.
Okay.
So it's just that there are a lot of people that live there, but pretty much everybody is left because anyone that is not just critically ill, and even maybe them, are not going to miss the Schaffenfest. This is a huge deal for pretty much anybody in the Empire, especially the Southern Empire, especially the Reichland, especially Bogenhafen.
Okay.
That being said, since you rolled so insanely well, you do catch a little bit of interesting new, like gossip being talked about as you're kind of like coming up on people to talk. You do hear from, you do hear, you hear one man speaking to another, and you can tell they're not like super high on the echelon of society, but they're not beggars by any means. They're working class folk. And you hear one of them say to the other, "I'm telling you, don't buy any horses here at the Schaffenfest. The watch stopped a drover from Averland trying to sell a mare, and she had 9 eyes blistered in her mouth. That she's hanging right now from the east gate."
Wait, the drover or the horse?
Good question.
Can I keep listening to this?
Yeah, they kind of have a bit of a back and forth with his companion saying, That's bull. Ain't no way that happened. I would have heard about that. You've lost your mind." And they're going, no, it's true. I heard it from my aunt, and she heard it from the dock workers who had heard it from other farriers that were bringing their steeds in, who were talking to a merchant about why they shouldn't buy from the Schaffenfest. And his friend sort of looks at him and goes, "Don't you think that maybe they said that because they were trying to get them to buy their horses before the Schaffenfest?" And the first man goes, No, it's true. It's true. We're going out the east gate.
Walk up.
We'll see the corpse hanging from the east gate. And his friend goes, "There's always corpses hanging from the east gate. You're not even going to be able to tell which one's her." And they're just back and forthing.
Yeah, I'll walk in and just be like, "I believe the man." Looking at the guy talking about the 9-eyed something.
Are you joining the conversation, or are you going back?
Yeah, I'm just walking up.
And he goes, "See, I told you." His friend goes, "Oh, don't encourage him. Stop it."
No. Strange things be abound. Tell me more. We have to stay safe in these times.
It was strange things. Have you, where are you from? You're not from here. You don't look like you're from here. Where are you from?
Oh, just up north. But strange things like Manticore sightings, stories about mutants on the roads.
They looked visibly nervous at both of these things. And the man who was the more skeptical
Superstitious?
of the two,
Oh, okay.
kind of he definitely looks a little uncomfortable, and he goes, yeah, we've been hearing a lot about them mutants. They say the river Bogen's plagued by them. 3 barges were sunk on the stretch from Castle Grunberg in the last month. The Graf needs to invest in more river wardens, I tell you. Those mutants are getting all uppity because that edict. Damn monsters.
Any sightings around here?
In Bogenhafen, no. We're still good Sigmar folk around here. We kills mutants. We don't tolerate no mutants.
Yep. Indeed we do.
One thing that is interesting to you, you specifically know this because it has come up in your employ under Yosef, is that there have been consistent rumors about attacks on the River Bogen. It's something Yosef was very particularly worried about and actually played very heavily into why he hired the rest of the party, just to have some extra hands on deck. You're not so sure about 3 ships being sunk outside Castle Grunberg, which y'all did pass by on your way here. But there have definitely been attacks on the river.
Okay. I'll work my way out of the conversation, meet up with the party, let them know.
All right. By this point, y'all have made it out of the gate and find yourselves looking at the overwhelming sprawl of the Schaffenfest. There are thousands upon thousands of people milling about from all walks of life across various tents, and everyone's kind of working their way through the mud, and all sorts of things are going on. People are talking and laughing. You can see all sorts of different colored tents, some very garish and bright and colorful, others far more drab and subtle, and it is bustling. The Schaffenfest has begun! Y'all gonna wander on out?
Yeah. Stay at least with somebody and keep your coin purses close.
Good call.
What? You think somebody would do that? You think I would allow someone to steal your purses? No. All right. You make your way out to the Schaffenfest. You see all sorts of things are happening. There are people playing all sorts of different games. You see all sorts of people hawking their wares, trying to sell things to people. There are individuals walking around that have food up on poles, whether they've got like pretzels that are kind of wound around them. Some of them, you see halflings pushing carts with various meat pies or sweetmeats. You see anything and everything, just all sorts of things drawing your attention. And it is crazy. It's busy. There's anything and everything you could possibly want to find is here. Is anyone looking for anything in particular as you're just enjoying the sights and sounds?
Dorothandel's going to ask around about a painted halfling singing songs. Because P did say she was going to be here.
Roll me. That's very specific in this mass. Roll me a challenging gossip check. Talking to a few individuals, most of them don't seem to unfortunately no one seems to really know what you're talking about. Granted, the Schaffenfest just started. It's only been open for a few hours, and everyone's still kind of like enjoying the frenzy and trying to move around, get excited and stuff. She could be anywhere in this mess.
No
if she even made it at all.
Yet.
I am going to do a roll because there might be things happening. Actually, no, that's not fun. Dorothandel, because you're the one that's actually being involved in doing things. Roll me a D100, please.
Dos.
Oh dear. Okay. So, as you're talking to people, and you're sort of meandering, you are relatively close to a set of stalls that are hawking various items. One of them is a Fletcher. He's selling selling all different kinds of arrows. He claims, you hear him saying like, "Oh, these arrows are made from enchanted Drakewall, blessed by Tall himself, and these are from the elves of the Laurelorn," and like he's saying all sorts of stuff. There's another man next to him who is selling various leathers, and then there's a third merchant who is selling food in this particular little space. And as you're talking, there's a lot of pushing and shoving as the crowds are moving against one another. These rivers of people, and you're kind of forced very close to the stalls amidst the talking. And as you're doing so, there's kind of a very sudden movement of like to the point where you almost have to grab onto someone's shoulder so that you don't go down. As something happens that forces everyone to kind of go one way and then go back to where they originally were. And suddenly you see the man who is trying to sell different cuts of leather. He even has like some examples of his leather being used to make armor, but he doesn't seem to be a proper like armor smith, or he's more of just a tanner that sells like cured leathers, or things that can be used to make leather armor or for other types of wares. Suddenly look around, and he gets kind of a panicked expression on his face, and then he kind of looks up and he looks around and he focuses on you. And you're not sure what exactly causes him to pick you out specifically. Maybe it's because you're one of the tallest people here. Maybe it's because you're an elf and you just stand out a lot. Or maybe there's something else. But he points at you and he goes, "Thief! Thief! Watch! Watch! Call the watch! He's a thief! Grab him!"
I grab Dorothandra. What's going on?
What did I steal?
So, as you're saying that to one another or trying to shout, his commotion causes kind of a crowd of people's eyes to turn, and a number of the individuals, those who look like they're either fellow merchants or people who would be like other people that are maybe watchmen off duty, or travelers who just have sympathies towards merchants' causes, immediately press in around Dorothy and say, "Oh, hold there, mate! Don't go anywhere, mate! Hold on!" Like everyone's kind of.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna talk to this man.
Yeah, people are
who
like,
thinks I stole something from him, and I'm gonna try to stomp towards the merchant.
So
what makes you think the tallest person here in the crowd would try and steal from you?
Trying to talk over this press of people is like impossible because there's so many people going, like just trying to do things. And Dorothandrel, you are able to move closer to this merchant. You're kind of being manhandled a little bit. There are at least 5 people that just have their hands on you, that are like grabbing your clothing or something to make sure you don't run away.
Opposed strength test. I'm going to try to rip out of their grip towards the merchant. Like if they're trying to grab me.
Go ahead.
So, is this opposed?
Yes, and
challenging.
Yes, challenging, and I don't think they do. They give me the generic guys here. I think they do. Yes, they do.
Can I
it's this
give him the help action since I'm like trying to get him there?
It'll just be they do manage to hold you tight. You are not able to escape their grasp. That being said, Dorothandrel, roll me a quick 1d10.
1d10.
As it becomes obvious that some of y'all are associated, of course you rolled a 10. As it becomes obvious that you are associated with him, Sigmund, people start grabbing you too. And granted, they're not like trying to hurt y'all, they're just trying to make sure you don't leave. So it's not particularly painful, they're just like, hold on, the watch will be here soon. Just waiting for the watch to get here.
I am the watch.
Yeah, so upon them grabbing Sigmund, I'm gonna swing around to their side and be like, look at him! He's part of the watch! You're grabbing a watchman! Do you want to be exposed to the punishment of interfering with the watch?
Roll me a challenging charm check.
Or intimidate?
Yeah, okay. Sure. I'll let it slide.
No, whatever you think would be bad. I don't know what would be
No, you
better.
you could do intimidate. That's fine. Nah.
God damn it, Ezra.
You hear them going, no, he's clearly not with the watch. He's just a lone watchman. They don't. And one of them is like, it's a sting. And there's another man that's like, no, he's clearly he's impersonating the watch, so he can get away with it. So y'all are held down. 10 minutes passes. 10 agonizing minutes of people just over one another. And the merchant does approach you, Dorthandrel, and he goes, give it back! I know you stole it, give it back!
What did I steal? I can't give back something I don't know what it is.
You stole 3 strips of my finest Averland heifer tan. I worked so hard on that leather.
But
it was
right
here.
I want 3 of your cow hides.
They're strips. You're hiding them in your britches.
Dorthandrel will look to him and look down at his fine-tailored, well-fitting breeches. How could I hide that?
It's elf magic. I tells you, elf magic, and you hear like from that kind of hubbub of burgers around you, everyone goes, elf, like everyone's just like nodding as if this is common wisdom.
Dorthandrel's gonna look to him and ask, were they? And start like stretching his hands to gesture for how long, and just kind of keep extending until the man nods. Like this long?
They were this long, and he holds out. He stretches his arms to about like 4 feet, which is like the idea that you could fit those down your pants and them not be visible is incredibly suspect.
Lenny's gonna look around.
I'm gonna look around at the other merchants.
You do see the watches approaching rapidly, Lenny. Like, there's a couple of people like pointing as the watch approach, and you can see these men are just like it. Luckily, it's early in the day, and they haven't been too worn down already by the Schaffenfest, so they're actually making pretty good headway and saying, step aside," as they're making your way towards. And you hear, "What's all this then? What's going on here?"
A merchant is accusing me of theft and hiding them in places I cannot hide, probably to distract all these fine citizens and other merchants from the fact that someone might be trying to steal from them.
And on top of that, we have a member of the watch here, and this crowd is interfering with his work.
Dorthandrel's trying to wave down Astaroth.
They don't even pay attention to anything Astaroth says. They're like focused on the elf, because the elf actually really jumps out at them. And the sergeant with them looks over at the patrol sergeant looks over at the merchant and he goes, "Is this true?" And he goes, "Yeah, he stole leathers from me." And he looks back at the elf and then looks back at him and goes, "Where would he put them?" And the merchant kind of goes, "Well, they're down his trousers."
Yes, 4 4-foot-long strips of the finest Averland cowhide. Dorthandrel says finest with deep sarcasm. Are hidden in my tight-fitting breeches.
Roll a very easy charm, because your argument is significantly stronger. Yeah, he just looks at you, and he looks back at the merchant and goes, he didn't steal them. Obviously, some other urchin or someone with defter hands nicked off with them. Go on, get everybody disperse. Go on, get.
Shouldn't this merchant pay for wasting your time on such a frivolous thing? There's bound to be better things for you to be doing.
The merchant looks incredibly displeased at this motion, and the sergeant goes, that's enough. We're here. We're doing our jobs. This is our job. Off with you. Go on, get.
10 success levels, not enough to get a penny.
Who knows? It might come in, it might roll around later. As y'all wander a bit through the crowds, you do see like various signs, hawkers and stuff, and you see you pass by a number of stalls that are what can only be described as medicine shows. You see Dorothandrel, you're able to identify signs. One says Dr. Zeus's Wonder Tonic, where there's a bearded man with spectacles wearing clothes that are definitely emulating that of some type of professor or doctor, but like the clothes are significantly lower quality than they would be if he was an actual doctor. And he's going on and on about this wonder tonic that I've invented can cure you of the worst of alms. It can cure colic. It can cure rheumatics, warts, bad breath. And he's just selling lots of different little glass vials of a pretty conspicuous looking black liquid. Dubious, to say the least. Beyond that, you see another place that sells rare elven spirit water, which is being run by a woman who is wearing very simple clothes that definitely give off the vibes of, say, an apothecary or a hedge woman. And she's going on and on about how this water was drawn from the finest springs that only the most beautiful of elven maidens bathes in. And by drinking it, you are able to draw in some of the elven beauty to yourself, and it'll make you look 5 years younger than you've ever looked. Just a little bit of it every day for 2 weeks, and you'll look younger than you have in years. And humans. Does anyone want to look for anything in particular, or do y'all just want to kind of keep meandering?
If there's apothecaries around, maybe not that one that's peddling elf bathwater. If they've got like a healer's kit, if that's a thing.
You're able to find a stall that seems a little bit more low-key, and it's just like it's literally called like Doctor's Needs, spelled with, the DOKTOR. With Dorothandrel's help, you're able to locate it easily, and it's literally just it's a much more quiet stall that is more selling things that need to be applied by someone who knows what they're doing, as opposed to like a wonder cure or talismans that ward off the plague or something. There's nothing miraculous about it. It's very simple and to the point. And if you want, they are selling healers kits. If you would be interested to purchase one. Are you looking for anything in particular, or just a like, is there a particular type of thing you're looking for? You're looking for like healing draughts or poultices, or do you want to look more for like an actual apothecary? Because this is more of like tools, but they are selling draughts and poultices if you want to try and get those.
I will try and get one of each.
Okay. So they've got plenty in stock. However, for the draughts, they're charging 15 silver a pop, and for the poultices, they're charging 16 silver a pop.
Okay.
You can try to haggle it to bring it down, though.
Yes, especially because I have haggler, where I get to drop that even more, potentially.
Okie dokie. So let's see. We're going to do some bartering. So go ahead and, or no, not bartering, just regular haggling. Roll me. Yeah, roll me a haggle check. And I will roll an opposed haggle. Oh, God, it's so freaking nice to just have all these generic things. What is haggling? Fellowship?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I rolled a 7? I thought I rolled something. Whatever. All right, so they are not budging on the price. You'll have to look somewhere else if you want to try and get it cheaper. Or you can pay their fees. Though you are keenly aware of the fact that these fees...
I'm getting upcharged?
Yes, probably because it's the festival.
Mm-hmm.
How many
should make it 10% less expensive regardless.
Oh, okay. For your talent?
Yeah.
And how many points... Do you have just 1 point in the talent?
Yeah, because it was my, like, I rolled at the start as
Okay.
a human thing.
Yeah, so, okay, so you are able to get it down a little bit. So for the healing drought, you can get it for 13, and the healing poultice, you can get it for 15. Or you could try shopping somewhere else. There are plenty more places, because these are fairly common items.
Yeah, I'll try somewhere else.
All right.
It's not a, like, need it now, it's just something I want to have.
So you say no thanks, and trying to be particularly discerning, you do see one stall that actually catches your attention, that is run by a woman, and the thing that really catches you out is that she seems to be she is an apothecary and has an apothecary's stall, as opposed to claiming to be a doctor, or having any kind of like miracle cure. She has like a lot of different plants, a lot of different potions, a lot of different little kits put together, and you see her kind of just working in the center of her stall, idly churning her mortar and pestle, seemingly working something already. And what catches you out about her is that like she's chatting with people that come through, but she's not really seeming to like overtly advertise herself. And do any of you have lore, herbs, or plants, or trade apothecary or herbalist? Anybody? I don't think so, but I'm double checking.
Nope.
No.
Okay. So if you want, you can try going into her stall. If you make eye contact with her, she does sort of nod, say, "Oh, you're looking for some healing items there, Watchman?"
Yeah.
I've got some things that can help with bruises or hangovers, or any other alms that you may have.
More looking for helping staunch wounds, recover from more serious injuries.
Anything particular you're looking for? And I will say, she looks like this.
Yeah. I'm just not used to the actual like actual healing items sound.
Well, you may have no idea of the specifics, but so if you want, you could just kind of shrug, or you can try and ask for something maybe a little more specific.
Yeah, I mean, poultices, maybe a draught to remove the soreness of battle or other such.
All right, sure. I've got some things. I've got a couple of just basic poultices that might help out. If you're looking for something a little more immediate acting, I could part with some draughts, but my stuff is guaranteed to work, deal. It's not like these other people around here who are selling just cow dung packaged up as something that'll miraculously cure the blessings of the plague. But that being said, because my stuff always works, it could be a little more on the pricey side.
Well, look, since you are so much better than this riffraff, I'll let you in on what we're really potentially up against. We're on the trail of Manticore, and looking to keep everyone safe from it.
Roll a average charm check.
Nope, not charm animals.
No, not charm animal. I think she might take offense to that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I am actually okay. She kind of like narrows her eyes at you a little bit for a moment, and then she sort of nods and goes, "You know, I'd heard a little bit about a Manticore. I'm from up near Weisbrook. There's been some troubling rumors right before I left for the Schaffenfest."
Yeah, we've been tracking it since Middenheim.
All the way from Middenheim.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me see what I can scrounge up for you. And she kind of moves around and grabs a couple of items. And she pulls out plenty of healing draughts and poultices. And she goes, "Perhaps I could be persuaded to part with them a little less than I would normally. You can roll a haggle check against her. You are going to get a plus 20 bonus. However, as you're about to see, she is
very skilled.
Yeah. So good luck. Oh, okay. She rolled. Wow, you both rolled terribly.
Because this is.
Would you like to fortune point?
Yes, because
you
this
actually
is
have a chance to beat her.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Wow, so that's a difference of 5. Jesus. All right. So you are able to win her over between your kind of noblish good looks and the fact that she could tell she's very used to seeing through people's bullshit. She's very, very good at it, and she can genuinely tell you're telling the truth. And the fact that the Manticore, and as you're kind of having this back and forth about the price, she goes, "You know, right before I left Weisbrook, a few days back, they actually sounded the alarms because supposedly some trappers had sighted the creature just outside the city. I don't know about all that, but it's troubling news. Truly it is. There are people close to me in Weisbrook. I've been a part of that community for many years. I was been born and raised in this part of the Empire, and I'd hate to have a creature like that threatening the people I know, so... Alright. Because you won by such a ridiculous margin, because you also get an additional +1, I believe, from your...
that was calculated in there.
Oh, it is. Okay. So, but you also get the additional 10%. So she would have charged 20, and then we're going down to 18, and then there's a difference of 5. So basically, she is willing to sell to you for literally just below market value. But that is a severe reduction from what she's actually charging normally for the Schaffenfest. So she will basically part with healing draughts for 9 shillings and healing poultices for 11 shillings.
Okay. So 9 and 11 shillings?
Yes. So whatever combo, if you want to do one of each, or 2 of one, or 2 of the other, or whatever combo you want to do, you can. You can also try bartering with her if you'd like. So, like, exchanging one of your items to try and, like, get a bit more money back. There's also a viable option. But
I just don't know if any of the items I have she's going to be interested in, because I've got like an extra sword, an extra blunderbuss.
You can ask.
Ah. I have the money, I do. But just in case on your trip home, if you want some extra protection, I'll pull out a blunderbuss.
She'll kind of raise her eyebrows at that and say, do you have powder for it?
It's got a shot loaded in there. I don't have any extra.
Well, they are... She kind of like... She hems and haws over it. I'm going to roll a little secret check for myself. Ben, what is the difference between a blind GM roll and a private GM roll?
I think blind is for like players to roll at you, so they can't see it. But I don't know.
That would make sense.
Sounds like.
That would make sense. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to roll a very quick check for her to see is there anything else you want to say to her in regards to this attempt at a barter? As far as like pitching,
yeah,
take this blunderbuss.
Well, even if you all you have to do is kind of aim in someone's general direction, and even if they don't get lightly peppered, the sound and smoke is enough to drive off most people.
All right, you
want to get closer.
Can roll me a challenging haggle check, and she is going to roll a different check.
Okay.
So
and that's with my +1 already in there.
Okay, if you spend a fortune point to increase it by 1, you will win this contest. But if you don't, you will lose.
Yeah, I've spent 1 fortune point.
Okay, to increase it by 1. All right,
Yep.
She kind of pauses for a moment, and she goes, all right, you think it'll maybe scare off that beast too?
It'll give it pause, and I have encountered it once, and it didn't seem interested in pursuing those who already made a show.
All right, then. She is willing to give you... She will either give you 1 of each or 2 healing draughts in exchange for the blunderbuss.
I'll take 1 of each and then buy 1 of each more, which would be another 20 shillings.
Okay. All right. And after your exchange, she goes, if y'all are... Do you have any interest of... I know you're a watchman, I can tell just by looking at you, but you have a thought of going into different trade?
Honestly, after being on the road so long, there's so many skills that would be useful. It's been something I've been thinking about.
Well, if you ever come up over by Weisbrook again, stop by. My name is Elvira.
Elvira?
Kleinstun. I live in Weisbrook. If you're ever there, stop by my shop.
I will certainly remember that.
Do any of the other 3 of you wish to say anything or buy anything from her? She does have literally all of the apothecary and healing items. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Y'all are able to leave her shop, and as you
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh.
Dorthan will ask to exchange several shillings for brass pennies, and he's going to give them to Sigmund and Astaroth so they can stop throwing shillings at everyone.
Oh, I have pennies.
So you just choose.
She's willing to tolerate y'all doing an exchange, if you would so like. You can freely exchange some silver for brass if you want while you're here.
All right, thank you.
She doesn't even charge you a fee.
I will do so as well because I need some pennies just in case. Pay off some beggars.
All right, as you head back out into the Schaffenfest, Lenny, roll me a D100.
Oh.
All right. As y'all are moving your way through, you're passing by all sorts of different places that are doing food. You see a couple of games taking place. There is a tug of war contest that's happening off to the side. There are all sorts of different people walking around chatting. You see people there are dogs and children running through the streets. Overall, it's just a big, absolute mess of human life in the most enjoyable of ways. And as you're kind of continuing along, Lenny, it doesn't hurt, but as you're kind of like pushing past someone, you run into a cart. You kind of check your hip on it a little bit. And there's a small halfling there who goes, "Oh, pardon me, so sorry."
I get myself up, dust myself. What's in the cart?
Pies. And he goes, "Terribly sorry about that, good sir. Could I interest you in a pie? You look awfully hot. You look awfully famished. Look how skinny you are. You need something to fan you up a little."
Well, how much? How much for?
Before I'll tell you, because I bumped you earlier. How about let's say 4 brass per pie. That's cheaper than you'll find here, especially for the quality.
Sure. I'll whip out what's that? That's 1 silver and
4 pennies.
2, 3, 4. Take that out. Hand it to him.
All right, he does that, and he goes, "Oh, have your choice of flavor. Have your choice of flavor." So there are meat pies. There are also some very simple, like kind of more pastry pies that seem to have like more of like sugar and sweets to it. There's even a fruit pie or 2.
Okay. I'd like 2 suited for nobility. 1 to remind an elf of home, and 1 to remind me of I think do you have anything? Do you have any meat pies from the north? Any exotic animals?
He sort of wow. Okay. You give him like genuine pause for a moment. So he ends up he gives you a meat pie, with the assurances that it's not necessarily the type of creature's meat that matters. It's how it was cooked that matters. So
okay.
he gives you a meat pie. Then he says for your knife here, he gives you one of his fruit pies, and then for the nobilities, he gives you 2 cream pies.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I'll
shuffles
excitedly
back off into the crowd.
Run back to the party. I got food.
Oh,
Bray Sigmar, food.
yeah.
And I'll hand Astaroth one of the cream pies. I don't know exactly what taste you enjoy, but I think you'd enjoy this. I give Sigmund another cream pie, and I will give Dorothandrel one of the fruit pies. Apparently, this one should remind you of home.
You know, it's been amazing, but I think Bogenhafen has more reminders of home than home does.
Oh. Does it?
I don't think there's been a single street of this mess that hasn't hawked something elven.
That is technically true.
Well, you can try it out. Let me know how it is.
Drothan will nod and evaluate this pie.
Looks well made.
I'll just start digging in.
It's
It's
delicious.
better than most. He will consume it before
It's,
someone decides he stole the pie.
as you're eating it, it's definitely kind of more it's definitely on the almost too sweet side. Like it's very flavorful. But as you're eating it, you can't help but get the feeling that this pie was like does not remind you of Marienburg. It reminds you more of like very exotic places that you kind of imagine going to but have never been to. It elicits an idea, but it's not where you're from. But
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's interesting.
Honestly, this one meat's kind of off. I think it's not right, not gamey enough.
Yeah, it is not gamey. That is very true.
How about you guys?
The cream pies are delicious. Like they're genuine.
Yeah,
They're just good.
I could not be happier. That was delicious.
Okay, at least it seems like they have this area
As you're
well enough.
kind of eating and talking, you do pass by one particular tent that stands out among the others. A very, very large tent that has a coat of arms hanging outside that you've seen enough times as you were coming into the city and walking through the city that you're able to pretty easily identify it as the coat of arms for Bogenhafen itself. And you can see that there is a line of people and a lot of watchmen standing around this particular tent. If you had to guess, it's a very, very easy guess that this is probably where very brief and fast sentences, so like a festival court, is being handled, because there are also stockades out and around it. And the stockades, for the most part, are actually empty because the festival just started. However, shockingly, there is one that already has an occupant. And there are children, little street urchins, little shits, for lack of a better word, throwing rotten fruit at this poor individual. And you see it's actually a dwarf. And this poor dwarf is just being pelted repeatedly by these children, and he's shouting, "Oh, you little bastards! Leave me alone!" It's a pitiful sight.
Wonder what he did.
Well, it's actually pretty easy. Well, actually, for you, it can't. There's a sign hanging around his head. Dorothendril, you can read it. It says, drunkard and vagrant.
He failed at being a dwarf.
Oh, that's a cool picture.
Yeah, there are already
Honestly,
birds taking advantage of the food, and the children, you see they quickly run out of rotten fruit, and they kind of look around a little bit, and they spy the four of you and approach, and you hear one of them go, "Hey, mate, have you got any spare crap we can have? We've run out for throwing at the crib nibbles. We ain't got no money or anything, but we'll use it. We'll use it well."
I'm sorry, little lads. I don't have any food or anything on me. I just finished the one cream pie I had.
They look eagerly at the other three of you.
Dorthandel ignores them.
yeah, run off. Go have fun somewhere else. Jeez.
Oh, so they hurl a series of small insults at you, but scatter to go look for things. And the dwarf had his, being that he is finally ceased being pelted, his bleary eyes settle on you, and he goes, "Oh, please, please, can one of you get me out of this, please? I'll do anything you wish. Just please get me out of here."
And for a festival, it is a little bit dreary here, I must say.
Hey, sorry, my
We
friend.
did walk to the prison of a festival.
It's kind of like right smack in the middle. It's almost kind of unavoidable if you're really exploring well. Won't you please help? Sigmar says help. You should help dwarves, right?
Dorothan will look around. Are there any dwarves around witnessing this?
No. You have spied plenty of dwarves throughout the Schaffenfest. You've definitely seen them around. There's not a whisper of them anywhere near this.
Oh, well, I will let your clan know when I next meet them.
What? McLaren, no. Oh, McLaren. He kind of like sags into the stockade holding him.
Against Astaroth's better judgment, he's going to take some pity. I'd like to walk up to one of the guards and just say, "Oi, how much of a fine to let the dwarf go?"
That one, I think the magistrate said, two shillings?
So be it.
2 shillings, really? Sigmar says we should always help our dwarven allies.
I don't make the rules. If you got a problem, take it up with the magistrate.
Okay, yeah, I agree with Sigmund. Is the magistrate someone that we can approach?
He's in the tent. Go on in. There's no cases at this exact moment.
Thank you, sir. I'll walk in and approach the magistrate. What's he doing?
So as you walk into the tent, it's a fairly kind of thrown together space, but it is nice. It's kind of what they kind of put down, like a not a carpet, but like a rug of sorts to sort of make sure they're not on the mud or grass. And he's got like a little desk that he's able to sit at his little booth. And there's a place clearly marked for people to stand, and there's even a little space where people can sit. It's a fairly compact space, like it's clearly not meant for a lot of people to be in here at once. And there are guards standing on either side of him, and there's kind of a small attendant who sees y'all coming and goes, yes, can I help you, gentlemen?
Hello, my name's Astaroth and Sigmund. Dorthandrel and Lenny come in, or are they, you guys outside?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm chilling.
Nope. Sotek, quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
Does this dwarf look like it was someone of standing?
No. At least,
okay, good.
If he was, not in a really long time.
Just wanted to check before my psychology went off.
Yeah, no.
I should have reacted a little different.
He looks like a drunken mess that has been a drunken mess for maybe his entire life? Could be.
Typical dwarf. Dorothandrel sees no reason for him to get involved in changing this dwarf situation.
That's fair. So no, the elf did not come in with you.
Okay, and this is Lenny. We were just looking to negotiate getting the dwarf out of the stockade with the magistrate.
Oh yes, I see. Go on, approach. Elrichter, they're here to see you about. We have some individuals enterprising about the dwarf, and you see this gentleman, a rather portly individual, sitting up at his station. He goes, all right. What's all this then? What about the dwarf? Are you here to pay his fine? Are you familiar with him? Are you friends?
No, we actually don't know him at all.
Already.
We actually don't know him at all, good sir. My name is Astaroth. This is Lenny and Sigmund. We don't know him at all, but we just wanted to try and get him out. And look, the relationship between humans and dwarves goes back years and years. The alliance between our two races has been long-standing. And I know he might have caused a ruckus, but in the grand scheme of things, his crime is so petty. 2 shillings is a steep fine. such a common petty disturbance, especially on a festival like this. Is there any way we could reduce his fine and get him out of here? And I will make sure that he leaves and goes home.
He sort
And
of
so will my companions.
he sort of looks at you for a moment and taps his finger on his desk and says, I do believe Sir Astaroth, was it?
Yes,
I think you
that's
may,
correct, sir.
unfortunately, grossly underestimate that particular dwarf's, shall we say, cravings. That is an individual who I think is quite lost to the drink, so to speak. I could agree to a reduction of the fines.
What
Though-
exactly did he do?
Well, despite the fact that the Shopfest has only just begun, as you could probably clearly identify, he is, to say, completely and utterly intoxicated, is a gross understatement and was causing quite a bit of an issue. I think due to the lack of funds he has on him to acquire more drink, despite the fact that he's already staggeringly drunk. A disturbance, to say the least. Nearly caused a brawl and is just overall offensive due to the odor and the sight of him. The fine was more there to make sure that he's not causing any other trouble staying in the stockades. But if you are so moved by his predicament, I have no problem letting him go for a smaller fee, though if he should continue to be a nuisance, we will put him back in the stockades, and there will be a stricter fine to ensure he doesn't cause any other problems.
Absolutely. I was actually going to say I will tell him that myself, that if he does not go home and does not reappear and causes more trouble, not only will I drag him back here myself, but I will ensure that he has double the punishment.
Yes, well, I do wish you the best of luck on that. I can be, let's say, just a 10 brass fine. He hasn't been in the stockades for very long. We'll say a 10 brass fine, and he can go.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, do behave yourselves out there and enjoy the festival. Good day, gentlemen.
Be safe, sir.
You are free to go. You are able to drop the 10 brass off with his little attendant, and they walk out. One of the watchmen walks out with you and says, "All right, you're free to go." And he unlocks it, and the dwarf sort of stumbles back and he wipes the rotten fruit off of his head and says, "Oh, bless you, man. Bless you. Blessings of Sigmar on you. Blessings on your ancestors. Blessings of Grundy on you. Blessings of my ancestors on you." And he's like kind of touching at you. And when you're this close to him, not only does he kind of just stink, but you can like see how filthy and just sad this dwarf is. And you've seen your fair share of dwarfs. This is almost alien. How just filthy and gross this dwarf is. You can see lice crawling across his beard and his hair, and he stinks. He reeks of alcohol, but there's even kind of a pungent odor beyond that. You can tell that he probably doesn't bathe, or if he does, it's been a very, very long time. And he goes, I owe you my life. I owe you everything. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You owe me this, you owe me that. Listen to me talk, okay? Leave the festival. Return home, or wherever you dwell. Do not come back to the festival. Sober up, sleep it off. Go at it again tomorrow, but don't come back here tonight. If you do, you are fucked. And there is nothing I will be able to do, or anyone will be able to do to help you. Leave now.
My friend, my good friend, and like as people are walking past you, they're just giving disgusted looks in y'all's direction because this dwarf is just ugh. He says, "I will. But could before I go, can I just have just one more drink? Just one before I go, before I leave. Just one more drink."
I look at him with the sternest face I could muster, just simply say, no. I've done you a favor. I will put you back in that stockade. Don't tempt me.
Oh, please, friend, my good friend. And he goes down on his knees and he starts grabbing at your clothes. Is I'll just one. I just need one more drink. I promise it'll be my last one.
I guess I will try to intimidate him. No,
Sure.
absolutely not.
Oh, come
Again,
on.
and threaten him. What? I'm not gonna let him have another drink.
One drink for the road home?
No, he's clearly had enough.
Sigmund, you can step in if you'd like.
Come on. Well, it's a penny. Let him have.
As
It's basically
Sigmund,
water for him.
as Sigmund is talking, the dwarf immediately, like, you know, he hears what you say, and he, like, shifts, he crawls, literally, on his hands and knees, over to Sigmund through the mud and says, "Oh, bless you, sir. I swear, I'll be your friend for life. I'll have your back for. You're such a good man. You're such a good man." And people are staring, like this is turning into kind of a thing.
Master Dwarf, what's your name?
Gottry. My name is Gottry Gurnison.
Godfrey Gurnison. As my friend, and as your friend, I'm going to buy you one ale for you to have on your walk home, and you will walk home and you will sleep it off, as our friend Astaroth has asked you to do.
Yeah, of course, of course. And he kind of stands up, and he just starts walking towards the nearest beer tent, which is not terribly far away. As you enter, he eagerly takes a seat, and one of the barmaids comes over, and she goes, "Oh, you getting some pints?"
He's getting one, and then he's leaving. And then we'll have a wrap.
All right then, dear. Just a pence. There's tons of people already drinking. It is packed in here. It is sweltering beneath this particular tent as everyone is really getting into the festival fair. Anyone else want to drink? Yep, just a penny for a pint of beer.
All right, I will.
I'll take
Hey.
3.
3 pints for the for the man with the tattoo.
I'll take one for myself as well.
Okay. Pints are being passed around. As the dwarf gets the pint, he sips, and you just see his body like visibly relax. Like you could see this wave of relief pass through his body. He goes, "Oh my God, that's it's just what I needed."
All right, Gotri, off to your home now.
He sort of sheepishly looks around, and people are kind of like scooting away from him because he's just he's very unpleasant to be too close to. And he goes, I will. I want to enjoy my drink. I'll go after this. Friend, friend, could I have I need the brass for the toll. I don't have any money. There's a toll to get back to where my home is.
Do you swear on an oath that you'll spend it on the toll and not more drink?
I swear on my ancestor. I swear on Sigmar. I swear on Toll. I swear on Shalia. I swear on Valera. Roll me a challenging intuition check. I didn't even mean to make that private, but fine. He's lying. He's absolutely lying through his teeth. you feel incredibly confident that anything you're going to give him is going to go straight into more beer.
How
Okay.
far are we from the gate?
Quite a ways. You're like practically right in the center of the festival. It's a pretty decent walk back to the gate. Like, you've been out here for probably a good 3-ish hours. Like, it's getting close to noon.
Sigmar says to help our dwarf friends, and he might be lying, but I gave it to him in good faith, and I'll give him 2 pennies.
Oh, bless you, bless you! And he takes the 2 pennies. And he goes, I'll go home after this drink.
All right, and then I'm going to slam my drink and head back out.
Cool. Give me anyone that's slamming a drink. Give me an average consume alcohol check.
I'll slam 2 and keep 1 for the road.
Then roll me 2 checks, Lenny. Oh,
wow.
you're all feeling great. You feel refreshed.
That second one hit.
Ooh, that second one hit a little hard, Lenny. That second one definitely feeling pretty good. Feel warm. It's nice.
All right. Took 2.
All right. Sigmund, roll me a D10. Actually, I lied. Roll me a D100. Okay. Lots of talking, chattering, gossiping going around, but if y'all want to leave, you can leave, no problem.
It's gonna come back and bite us in the butt.
What will?
Helping one drunk
yeah.
dwarf.
I'm sure I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure of all the things we've done, that's going to be the least painful thing to bite us.
Yep. I'm sure it won't be a problem. All right, so you wander back out into the Schaffenfest, and who has not rolled anything for me D100 wise yet?
Don't think Lenny,
Northanger
Lenny
rolled.
has.
Sigmund rolled. Lenny
I got hit
rolled.
by a cart.
Astaroth hasn't.
Roll me a D100. Does anyone want to shop for anything? Like, look for any particular items or
I do have a couple things.
23. All right, as you're as you are going through the crowd and meandering your way around, all of a sudden, I apologize in advance for this. I know you're not the one that rolled it, but you're also the most obvious.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
You hear, look at the knife here, and you see a group of young men. Dorothandrel, because you hear that so obviously, like, it jumps out at you. Roll me a dodge check.
Oh boy. Challenging?
Yeah. Challenging dodge check.
Oh no.
Would you like to reroll
no.
or keep it?
Am I able to perceive what is being thrown at me?
No. Something's being thrown at you.
It's probably something awful. I'll use my only reroll and regret it right now.
Does that equal
okay.
double regret?
Okay, I need to.
Could I assist him somehow?
Nope.
Or
Nope.
No.
I need to see where this hits you.
I mean, he could miss and hit Astroth.
That's true. That's true. He might just miss. It's true. Actually, I should have rolled this before I had you roll dodge. Now I think about it. Except for you failed worse.
That normally doesn't matter. Oh, unless we could be running it different.
Well, no, you're right. So something is thrown definitely. And you are able to stumble aside as there's a wet just right next to where you were standing. And the smallest of glances towards what was thrown at you, somebody just threw shit at you.
Oh, thank God you dodged it.
And luckily they missed. And you see your eyes, all four of you, your eyes are drawn to a group of what can only be described of, oh wow, okay, a rather large group of just the filthiest, dirty, just bigoted peasants you've ever seen in your life. They are missing teeth. Their clothes are all messed up, and several of them are holding what you hope is mud, but you know for a fact at least some of it isn't, in their hands. These are filthy, just repulsive, yeehaw individuals. And you hear one go, "Ah, you missed!" And another one goes, "Oh, I'll get him!" I don't know why they're either British or Southern. Don't worry about it. And you hear one go, "They eat babies, them knife ears, get him!" And they're just throwing shit. Well, sometimes literally, but most of them is just mud or fruit in Dorthangel's direction. Luckily, their aim is pretty terrible. Dorthangel, is there anything you want to do before the next wave comes in?
Run away.
That's fair.
Mud would be fine, but not the other thing, and he can't kill them all right now.
You are very easily able to just take off the direction. One of them goes, "He's getting away! Get him!" And this swarm, there's quite a few of them, well into double digits, start running after Dorthandrel, but they are having a much harder time keeping up with him through the crowd. The other three of you, is there anything you want to do before this chase kicks off?
Sigmund, you and I mean, especially me, not by much, but we do have some higher station over these people. We should try and help Dorthandrel get them to stop.
Yeah, I'm going to town sheriff and a western just step in the middle of the road in their way.
Are you really? Or
Yeah.
I didn't know if you're being sarcastic or not. I'm going to join you.
What will you?
I'm going to join you 100%.
What will you do / say to these yokels?
Hold up, partner. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, just because I can't do accents doesn't mean y'all have to be mean about it.
Sorry. He's going to have one hand resting on the palm of his sword, and the other just like casually polishing his watch badge, and then just look at them and ask, "Do I have to fetch the magister for you?"
Well, you wouldn't fetch the magistrate. You could drag them to the magistrate.
Yeah. Do we have to go see the magister?
Roll a roll in. There's a lot of them, and there's only two of you. Roll a challenging intimidation check.
Yeah.
Can I
we are
assist?
actually armed.
Yes, you may assist.
How do I do that? Just roll? Or?
So the way we're doing assists is that you both will roll, and we'll go with the highest, and as long as the other person passed, they will give an additional +1.
Yeah. Would this be affected by noble blood?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
If anything, that would hurt you in this instance.
All right.
They are looking to cause problems. All right.
But it was. Oh, okay. I don't even need the roll.
Go ahead and roll, just because it can help. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
yeah,
the two of you are. So they're just gross peasants that like a couple of them have like sticks, what could maybe generously be described as clubs, but the vast majority of these 19 individuals are unarmed and unarmored. And in front of them are two well-armed and reasonably well-armored individuals. And especially with the watch badge, they all like the ones in front freeze, and the rest of them kind of stumble into one another, and they kind of look at you, and you flash the badge and give your say what you say, and you hear one of them go, "Oh shit, it's the watch! Chase it!" And they all scatter. Like they immediately just turn and scatter into the crowd, not wanting to get thrown into the stockades or worse.
Yeah. And then I will go chase
There is some
after...
hearty chuckling from the many random individuals around you.
And then because I can actually keep pace with Dorothandrel on a run, I will chase after him.
I mean, Dorothandrel is, shall we say, keenly aware enough that he was not able to get far enough away that quickly to not witness what happened. Now, if he wants to keep running, that's up to him.
Did any of them... Oh wait, he got between me and them, so none of them happened to be coming in my direction alone anymore.
No, they went the opposite direction, and they are gone.
Dorothandrel will stop, turn around, and head back, avoiding any piles of quote-unquote mud that may have decorate this walkway.
Other than those that dropped their payloads in a panic, luckily there's not that much. They weren't really able to get off an effective volley.
Thank you for that.
Of course, with that.
Of course, yeah.
I'm beginning to think that all this talk about this Schaffenfest highly overrated.
Is there
also...
anyone who wanted to do some shopping? I heard some vague yeses.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a couple
Yes.
things I gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you
Everyone
want?
wants shop.
What do you want? Who's looking for what?
I want to sell some stuff, and then I gotta go look for that horse that the Grandmaster gave me a whole satchel of gold to try and buy here.
Sure. Finding a horse will actually be insanely easy. Because livestock and associated creatures are it's so painfully easy to find those here. It's just more of an issue of finding a quality one that's going to be a real problem.
Yeah, make sure to count the eyes.
Yeah,
The what?
Look in the mouth.
The eyes.
Lenny,
Apparently
just-
some of the horses here.
If by the way, Lenny, when you were marching out the east gate into the Schaffenfest, you did see there were numerous individuals hanging from the gate. You did not see a horse hanging though. So
I'm so superstitious.
Perhaps
I've seen things.
Perhaps it was the woman who had eyes inside of her mouth.
I really wish it was the horse. Just because the idea of them hanging a horse is hilarious.
Would not be by, like, as a watchman who has seen things, not by any means of the imagination out of the possibilities. You have seen some weird shit. Like,
Just
the
keep
law
an eye
has
out.
done some weird things to mutated animals to try and, like, make a point for some reason. All right. So you want to look for a horse?
And I gotta sell some junk real quick.
Okay, what are you
Just
looking,
my old
what are you looking to sell?
sling, the sling ammunition, and the sling bag. Probably
Okay.
get a couple pennies for it.
Won't be a very easy sell. Just because that's not really high in demand. There are some folks that kind of are willing to. You can find some relevant shops, and people, those who are even open to the idea of purchasing a sling. They're like, you get an offer from someone who's willing you to offer 1 shilling for the entire thing, like everything, the sling, the ammo, and the bag.
Not that I'm not happy with that.
Wait,
but
you said
could
a
I
sling
attempt to?
bag too?
Yeah, I
my-
got the
my-
bag.
my
10,
brain-
10
my-
stone bullets in the sling.
Oh, I mean, sling bags are not just for. It's just a bag that you wear over your shoulder. You sure you want to sell that?
I have 2 other pouches.
Like a pouch, or like a backpack?
No, like a pouch. I have 1 pouch.
So the only thing you
with-
can fit in a pouch is like coins or something similar to a coin in size. A sling bag is like, you can fit like a bedroll or like something considerably larger in there.
Dorthandel has the party tent in a sling bag.
Yeah, I had a blunderbuss and a sword, and I still have
sling
an extra
bags
sword
are
in my
like
sling.
pretty useful.
They're
I
like a
thought it was a
small
sling
ruck bag.
I did not know. I thought it was like a sling bag, like for my sling.
No. A sling bag is a bag that is slung over your shoulder.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to sell that.
Yeah, no, I would not.
This
Yeah,
entire time,
you-
only thing in my sling bag is sling bullets.
You can carry 2 encumbrance worth of stuff in a sling bag.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I just the sling.
I mean, hey, if you've never heard of one before, then no, I could totally see why you'd think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
but yeah,
just
so
slinging the bullets.
for just the sling and the bullets, there's someone who's willing to offer you a single shilling for all of it.
I have an extra pouch. I'll throw a pouch in. Because I just have this random pouch that's hanging around.
I mean, they would not even pay you for the pouch.
Not that I'm not happy with the price, but could I attempt to haggle and just be like, well,
Yeah.
it was made in Talbecklin, you know?
You can, even if you win, it's not going to go up by much, but you may attempt to haggle.
Would that be challenging or average?
Challenging,
or something else?
because it's a post. So you tied, but he has the higher base stat, so he will win. So no, he's like, no, a sling at the Shopping Fest. I'm trying to make money here, not lose money. 1 shilling. Take it or leave it.
Okay, that's fine. Cool.
All right.
I will take it.
Cool. We will come back to the horse in a little bit, because that's gonna probably be more of a thing. Lenny, do you want to buy or sell anything?
Are there any enchanters here?
An enchanter?
Yeah.
That is okay. That was not what I was expecting. So you're looking for a wizard?
Or shaman?
All right. Okay. Roll me a D100, and you're gonna need like a 5 or lower. Maybe. Yeah. No. No.
Darn it. All right.
Festival.
I got nothing.
There are wizards present at the Schaffenfest, but like they're not hawking their wares at something like this. There's too many ignorant people. That would be a good way to get yourself hanged, or someone grabbing something and misusing it and blowing up, or who knows what. Anything a little more down to earth you'd like to look for?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, an enchanted item, that's like something you could probably easily go your entire life without encountering. Depending on the level of enchantment. But anyway, Dorthandel, anything you want to buy or sell?
A rain hat.
A rain hat. Interesting. Okay. That is very, very easy to find. Unless you want to, I don't know what book that is in off the top of my head. They're basically charging double price for it unless you want to haggle.
I will get Sigmund over as the human who can haggle.
So
I am in need of an excellent hat.
You can pay back the notary services.
Yeah.
All right.
Roll
it. Not a peasant. I need a burger.
Challenging because it's opposed.
Yep. Ooh, boy. Ooh,
Oh, wow.
boy. All right. So +3 and okay, so he'll sell it to you for 150% market value instead of 200%.
All right. I will continue to look to see if it's actually something that's listed down or if it's just a trapping mention.
If it's not a, is it in under, let's see, rain hat. I don't see anything about a rain hat. I mean, you could just get a hat and it's a little larger, like it has like a larger rim, so it's better designed for it.
All right.
So you could just count it as a regular hat, but maybe increase the base cost by like 2 brass. Because it requires a little more material, and it's been like oiled so that it's water resistant.
All right. Does he have any fine hats?
You can find a seller of fine hats quite easily.
All right. So it has the fine quality, double the price, and then 150% of that.
Oh, you're wanting... Okay, yes. In that case, yes. So, it'll stack value a little bit, but yes.
All right. I shall give him the money after I've calculated it.
Cool. Sigmund, you looking to buy or sell anything?
Yes. I would like to try and find a buckler and also a poleaxe.
All right, so looking around, it is not hard to find. There are like blacksmiths who have actually brought a lot of their supplies with them. They've kind of set up like a temporary forge that's very small to kind of like show off their craft. But there are also people that are just displaying all sorts of different weapons and armor and shields, trying to show off their various supplies. But this is the Schaffenfest, so things are even more expensive here than they would be normally. So you can find those, a pole axe and
This is
a
an up in
buckler.
arms.
Yes. So at base value, they're charging double because it's the Schaffenfest.
Mhm.
So if you want, you can try and haggle that down to make it a little more reasonable, because that is quite pricey. So you're looking at 36 silver, 4 brass for the buckler. And then the
Well, that's 4 gold.
yeah, so pretty pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to try and haggle that down?
Yes.
Cool. We will do them one at a time. So this will be we'll do the buckler first.
Okay.
So he got a +0 for the buckler. Oh man, you are killing it on the haggle checks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a +3, and then you also have deal maker. So he'll reduce that by 50%. So it's going to be full value plus 50% instead of 200%.
Okay.
If you want to consider that. And then for the poleaxe, we do another roll.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he rolled really bad on that. And you rolled really good. Oh, wow. Okay. So the poleaxe, you're actually able to make a much better argument about, like, you work for the watch, and it's important that you're able to, like, do your job effectively, and you're kind of able to berate him enough. And he, maybe in his experiences as a merchant, he's had this particular thing really seems to get to his heart, likely because he's been helped by the watch in the past with various thieves and other situations, break-ins and stuff like that. He'll sell it to you at market value.
Okay. I would like to try and haggle the extra sword I have for half of that value.
Interesting. To barter the sword. Okay, roll me one more haggle check. This one is, you're gonna need to beat him pretty good. Oh my gosh, he's rolling like trash.
As good as I usually do.
Okay, yeah. He will. Let me double check something real quick. How much is a sword normally gonna be? How much
1
is
gold?
And you won by 3. He argues that he's willing to give you half the sword's value. So he wants 1.5 gold for the poleaxe instead of 2 if you give him the sword.
Okay.
Unless you want to reroll and try and get a better pass.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Yeah. So
because honestly, you know where the sword came from? the vampire we killed.
I
I'm not telling
Oh,
him
yeah.
that.
probably would not mention that. All right, so yeah, you may have a poleaxe, and also make sure you pay for the buckler, which is going to be have fun figuring that out.
Yeah.
Um.
Said price and then price to half.
Yeah, 150%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. For the horse, how's everybody doing on time? By the way, I'm just now looking at it.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Fine.
Okay. So for the horse, you're able to make your way out a little further from the main Schaffenfest out to where all the different livestock are kept, and there are tons and tons and tons of different critters all over the place. And I would like you to roll me a so you're gonna go to the livestock market, so you're gonna be heading to the northern part of the Schaffenfest. Roll me a roll me a D100. Actually, no.
Eight.
I lied. Roll me a challenging gossip check to look for a good horse seller. I don't know what the technical term is for that.
Hostler.
There you go. There you go. Great roll. All right. So as you're meandering your way through the crowd, and you are you've gotten into you're kind of out of the main festival and now along the livestock market, which is a fair bit removed from everything else. And there are all of the pens are being very well guarded, but there are just thousands and thousands of creatures and critters. And it stinks. It smells like animal shit and animals. And there's like constantly dust being thrown up in the air as they're moving around, stomping around and stuff. But you are able to locate a woman. And the thing that you kind of are able to ask around about here is that there's apparently a woman here from some faraway land to the south. And that just kind of jumps out at you for some reason. And once you're able to kind of like get eyes on her, she stands out immediately because she wears very flowy clothing that is far more brightly colored than what anybody else is wearing. So she has like very vibrant reds and greens on these long flowing clothes that you can tell are meant for very hot weather. They're meant to kind of let air circulate through and blow through while keeping the sun off of her. And she has a much darker complexion than anyone else. Like her skin is significantly darker. And she has very long black hair that's been tied up into a fairly intricate bun on her head, and she's constantly kind of negotiating and haggling with merchants. And you notice she almost has like a very aggressive style of speaking, because whenever she starts getting into kind of a frenzied exchange with a merchant as you're approaching that area, they almost seem to like shrink back in terror. She seemingly is like berating them as part of the exchange. But the particular pen that she has assigned, you see there are a number of like mares and stallions back there, and these horses, they're not like monsters, they're not like super large, but they're beautiful creatures, and they look very well taken care of, is another thing that jumps out at you. But the biggest thing is that their musculature is very different from what you're used to seeing in the Empire. Most Imperial horses that you kind of deal with and see on a regular basis are more built for size and bulk. They're more built to, carry lots of heavy armor. and they're not really meant for like speed or agility. They're more meant for carrying very heavy riders and equipment and being able to like run people over. These horses are not that big in comparison. They're a bit smaller, but you can tell just looking at them how incredibly athletic they appear. Like they look far more musculature, and like there's more of a leanness to them. There's more kind of an evoking of, you feel like if you were to set these creatures out on a field, that they would obliterate Imperial steeds when it comes to speed, however you want to look at it. Do you want to approach this woman, or do you want to look for a different person?
I do want to approach her, but I do want to just look and see what else there is before I make any decisions. You know,
all right.
just to see.
You are able to kind of look around a little bit at her steeds. They all look quite healthy, and are just sort of grazing or idling or not galloping but trotting around a bit. She doesn't have a ton. She only has like 20 steeds with her. And as she finishes, you hear her yelling at a merchant, "If you can't afford my prices, then how do I say it? Fuck off! Go on! Be gone!" And you see a man like kind of throw his hands up as if to defend himself from some kind of projectile before he staggers back with his companions, and they sort of all wave their hands at her of motion and kind of scatter. And you can see that the guards, the watchmen that are in this particular area, look particularly bemused by the antics that apparently keep happening. And as there's a little bit of silence, you actually do not, when you turn your attention away from her, despite the fact that there are like, there's a lot of sounds from animals and stuff, Dorathandrel, are the three of y'all, did y'all come with Astaroth, or did y'all want to kind of just stay in the festival and keep enjoying yourselves? Because like there's nothing like out here but animals. There's no games or drinks or anything.
I'm probably with them finishing my drink.
Dorathandrel's with him. He did stand between him and the shit.
Cool. Roll me another average check, Lenny, by the way.
And I got brought because...
Yeah, fair.
No.
All right. Dorathandrel, the thing that you really catch on to... Oh, yeah, you're feeling great, Lenny. Life's good. The thing that really gets to you, Dorathandrel, is that when this woman moves up behind Astaroth, she glides. Like, she is... The way she moves, like, it could be that her clothing is kind of giving a bit of an illusion to her movement, but it is graceful. And Astaroth, you do not notice her move or hear her. You just hear her voice right in your ear as she goes, "Do you see anything you like?"
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was just admiring what the animals that you have. My name is Astaroth.
She nods and she goes, "Alma."
Nice to meet you, Alma. I'm in the market for a steed. I'm a squire, a knight squire, and I do need a horse that will be able to carry me around and perhaps see some combat eventually. As I progress in my career and gain more armor, be able to carry me around. Do you have any...
A squire, and she moves around you, taking you in from like a 360. Like she seems to very carefully observe you, and she goes, "You're somewhat small for a squire."
Yes. This is true. Too small for a lot of things, but alas...
No,
I
it's
did
good. Means you're not as heavy. The steed won't have to work as hard.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about it like that.
That's good for my steeds. They're not those great brutes that most knights tend to prefer. What order are you with?
Nice panther.
Ah, the Panthers. They're quite fond of the cats from my homeland. Many of
Oh,
them.
your homeland.
I am from Araby.
Ah, Araby. I've only ever heard of it by word of mouth. And sounds like a wonderful land.
'Tis beautiful. Dangerous, hot, but beautiful. Like many things in life. Worth the danger. She kind of gives you another up and down look, and she goes, "You're a squire, yet do not have a steed of your own?"
I am a squire as of a week ago. I am brand spanking new, fresh off the press.
So, new initiate? You're not... Are you a noble?
It's a very long, it's a very long story actually, but no, I am not a noble.
She kind of nods a little bit, more to herself than to you, and says, "Do you have armor for a steed? Do you have anything for a steed?"
Given a farrier kit, I believe. That's all I have. He did not give me horse armor. I don't have that written down, right?
Correct.
No.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Okay.
So
So
you'll,
just the farrier kit, that's it.
so you'll need a saddle and other things as well.
I believe I was given enough.
She looks more behind you at the other three and goes, "Are these your servants?"
Servants? God, no. I'm just a squire. I don't have servants. These are my friends.
She gives Lenny a little smirk, and there's something to her eyes that suggests something, Lenny, but you're not really sure what. And she looks at Dorothandrel for a moment, and then Sigmund, she barely gives you a passing glance. Before turning back to Astaroth, she goes, "How much do you have?"
Pouch was 2,000 gold.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I have written here a pouch with 2,000 gold. That's obviously not right.
No. That is not correct.
Why are we hunting a Manticore?
Yeah, cool. Where do you go buy a village?
Yeah, that is no, sir.
How much was in the pouch?
20 gold.
Oh,
is in
20
the
gold.
pouch.
Whoops.
Give him a break. He can't read and write.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Shave a couple zeros off there, my man.
Yeah, I must have fat fingered the 0 button. No.
Dude.
Sorry. I looked at it and was like 2,000 gold. I was like, that's okay. Maybe that's what it was. I don't
Here
know.
you are. Go buy a griffin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just buy my way into the Nice Panther.
That's really funny.
Yeah, so I have 20 gold.
20. My steeds are quite expensive. How can I be... Have you ever cared for a steed before? Do you have much practice tending to their needs?
I grew up around animals, mostly hunting. My father was a pretty renowned hunter where I'm from, mostly on foot, though. Any experience I have helping around with horses was helping neighbors and some of my father's friends, but nothing every day, nothing of my own.
To become a knight, how did you accomplish this? What is so special about you? You're not a noble?
No, to put it as briefly as I can, but we found a group of dead Knights Panther. We found among them a very valuable and noble-looking sword.
If you want, you can cast villain.
Huh?
They say, if you want, I am more than happy to let you continue if there's a specific way he wants to frame it. Otherwise, you can just cast villain.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, I got the sword and I didn't want it to be taken by grave robbers or stolen, so I returned it to the Knights Panther. They decided to let me join their ranks.
She ponders on this for a bit. She says, maybe, perhaps we can work out something, a deal. Roll me a haggle check.
Challenging.
Yes. Wow.
Hey.
She kind of ponders for a bit. She says, I'll make you a deal. I will sell you one of my steeds, and you will have to tell all of your fellow knights about Alma from Ereby's steeds, and how my steeds are greater than those they ride. So they will come to me. They will come to Alma to buy their future steeds. And you will show them how mine are superior.
That is absolutely something I'd be more than happy to do. But tell me, so I can tell them, why your steeds will perform better than, as you said, the brutes of other establishments.
These are
What-
Arabian. They're better bred and much faster, braver. They're not those donkeys that you sell here.
Lenny's gonna go up to one of the horses and just go, boo!
Well, I mean, they're behind a pen, but your boo, like, the horses give you a bit of a, like a, all right. She says, she gets up in your face and like she points, her nails are fairly long and she kind of points one up into your chin and it kind of like almost stabs a little bit. And she says, but you must promise to take care of my steed. I do not give them so that they may be taken to slaughter.
Oh, you have my word. I absolutely plan on taking care of the horse. It will be fed, it will be maintained.
You
I will
feed
learn
it
to take care
before
of
you
it.
feed yourself. You care for
Yes.
it before you care for yourself.
Yes. Absolutely.
The spirit
Well-
of the wind, the spirits of the desert are in my steeds. They are no simple beasts. They are noble creatures of better breeding than you. You understand, yes?
I do absolutely understand. You have my word. Without the horse, I am nothing. I
Then-
understand that.
Then I will take your 20 gold.
Now, does that include...
She will include
At least the saddle?
she will include a saddle and tack.
Okay.
And we will work out adding that to your sheet because it's we have to do like a little thing. But yeah, so you can have your pick from her steeds. There is one that's entirely on. There's one that's like completely black. There's a couple that are one thing you notice is that they're all pure color. None of them have
marks or spots or anything?
no other markings. There are some that are pure white. There's some that are pure black. There are some that are like almost a deep reddish auburn color. And there are some that are almost kind of more of a yellowy blonde color. But they are pure all the way through. Very long, regal manes. Seem very well bred, very well taken care of. You may select whichever of them you wish.
Are there any that stand out? Like, or does it not matter? Is it just like a color
Do
thing?
you have? Oh no, you do. Well, you do have. You have Lord Beast. Do you have anything like animal care?
I
do. Dorthandrel, nothing that you can see. You suspect it's more of a figure of speech, but you're not entirely sure.
More disappointments.
You can.
I
Roll,
do have animal care.
Then you may either. Yeah, you know what? You can roll Lord Beast. It's fine. You can roll a challenging Lord Beast or challenging animal care. They are all looking around a little bit and knowing what you do about animals. These are immaculate creatures. Like the more you are able to, like, she allows you to just kind of go into the pen. She keeps a very wary eye on you, but she doesn't like hover over you, so to speak. Though you do get you get a very deep-seated suspicion that this woman is one of those people that if you screw with one of her horses, she could probably kill you in a very unusual and painful way. She gives off that kind of vibe. But once she kind of sees that you seem to know what you're doing, she quits observing you, other than just kind of watching you casually from the side. But these creatures, they're in excellent health. They're beautiful. And they all are of fairly similar quality. Perhaps if you were more educated on horses, you had more direct experience with them, there are signs that you could look for to really tell them apart. But with your level of knowledge and with that level of success, you're not really able to discern anything individually unique about any of them.
Okay.
Though compared to other horses here, they are like, it's shocking how much like healthier and clean these creatures look.
Black is my favorite absence of color, so I will pick the blackest horse that she has.
Awesome. Then you will acquire for yourself a midnight Arabian riding horse. And that is not just a like token note. It is going to have the fast trait, which is unique.
Awesome. Could I attempt to charm it to like, kind of like introduce myself to it? And
sure. You can roll me a average charm animal check.
Astroth has a horse girl moment.
Oh, can I re-roll that?
I mean, you failed, so of course. Or you could spend 2 fortune points to just make it a base success if you don't want to risk it. We are
Use
coming
a
up to the
fortune
end
point
of the
to add +1 SL. Is that?
You're gonna need to do it twice to make it a success. Because only one would take you to a -0, which would still be a fail.
Okay, so re-roll twice.
Well, no, re-roll once. When you right click on it, you can either do use a fortune point to add +1 SL. You would do that twice, or you could just use a fortune point to re-roll.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that twice.
All right, then you are able to approach the darkest steed, the one that almost seems to absorb the light around it. It is completely and utterly. It is midnight black. And as you're able to kind of just approach with your hand out, the creature sort of pauses for the horse sort of pauses for a moment. And she moves back a little, but you're patient. Make sure you do that one more time. The add +1 success.
I think it only lets you do it once.
Really?
Yeah, it only lets me do it once.
Yeah. Well, that's dumb.
Take one off from your character sheet.
We know that you did it twice. It's fine. We're coming up to the end of the session anyway. And after kind of a couple moments, it approaches, kind of smells your hand a little, and it allows you to stroke your hand across its face, and you are able to become acquainted with this horse. And you hear from Alma, "You'll need to give it a good name. Not a shit name. A good name.
Absolutely.
I will not have any steeds named Daisy. Or anything more offensive."
You said it was a female horse?
Yes.
I love the name Senna, so...
That will go over well with Alma. Alright, as y'all are... the rest of you are kind of meandering about. You hear a scream. You hear a couple people screaming. And as
I listen for wing beats.
people are starting to run a little bit, you hear a screech. Not a human screech, a creature, a very loud, predatory screech echo through the air. And a lot of the animals start to like kind of panic in their pens and are running into each other. The cows are mooing very loudly in distress. Pigs and boars are wanking. Like there's a lot of like all of a sudden. And all of you kind of feel that creeping dread of, is it here? And you do hear a foom, 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 but it's different. Like there's that initial panic, a genuine anxiety, but you look up in the air and there's nothing there. There's nothing in the sky. Like it's a fairly clear day out. It's not even raining today. And people kind of after that initial panic, it kind of calms down to a murmur a bit and people are just sort of leaving. Do y'all wish to investigate?
Yes.
Alma does tell you that you can come by at any point over the next 3 days to collect your steed once you have a place for it to go.
Does she know what that noise was?
She does tell you that she's heard it a couple times today. She doesn't seem bothered. The horses don't seem bothered. Like, they seem a little nervous, but, like, they don't, like, freak out or anything.
Horses always seem a little nervous.
That's true. So the four of you, it's very easy to locate the source of the sound. As you move away from where the horses are and you go a little bit further down this kind of muddied path that just has tons of people moving back and forth. And as you round a corner, you see it. Amidst a host of chickens and all sorts of other poultry, all these different little birds running around. One pen stands out very much compared to all the other pens, despite the fact the pen is still designed for chickens or other similarly sized birds meant to be farmed. You see a large beast in a cage. And it is an immense creature. It's huge, with the upper body of a bird and the lower body of a horse. There is a hippogriff here in a cage. And outside of it, you see an irritated man standing who has, like, he has mostly leather armor with some metal chainmail worked into his chest piece. He has a hat on, and you can tell from the pistol at his waist and the very large bow on his back, this man is some kind of hunter. And there is a man in front of him that says, "No, Herr Windelshin, it doesn't matter what you say. This ain't no giant chicken. And it certainly ain't no domesticated animal. You can sell it on Geldgulbentag all you want, but you will be paying the tax if you do."
I nudge Astroth. Should have saved your money.
Oh, I don't know how well it would have gone over if I showed up with a hippogriff, nor do I think even 20 gold would do nothing.
There's a little bit more of an ugly back and forth between this enforcer and whoever this hunter is. And you notice that the watch that are having to deal with these particular pens, mostly in the poultry section, are considerably less relaxed and more nervous than the watch on all the other animal pens. If y'all want, you can further investigate, or you can just leave. But hey, there's a hippogriff there. Neat.
If that man caught a hippogriff, do you think he knows about manticores?
Very well might, and I think it'd be a good place to start. I also just want to find out how much he would be willing to sell the hippogriff for. Just out of curiosity.
No. All right, so y'all can start to approach this apparently Windenshahen, and we will see where that goes next time. Thank you all for joining. Hope that was fun. Good session.
Mhm.
Enjoying the Schaffenfest. Lots more is going to happen next time, and things are going to heat up a bit, more than likely. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording there.